Hey yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the weekly comic wrap up, episode 93. That's right, you saw that. 7 more shows, 6 after tonight. We're almost at episode 100. 100 is going to be a big one, so brace yourselves. Lots to look forward to for that one, but lots to look forward to tonight, guys. I don't know about you, I feel the energy. The heart is pumping. And I mean, yeah, it's Laura, of course, but that's not the only reason why. There's a lot to discuss. We had Fan Expo this weekend. We're going to dive into that. I know a lot of you guys, saw that there was 600 plus exclusives. So we'll talk about all of that fun stuff. We'll get into the con and other things as well. But before we kick off the show, want to remind everybody that next week, Michael Schwartz, that's right, the writer of Armored, he also made the film No Malone, is going to be on for episode 94. So make sure to come back next Sunday to check that out. We're going to go through all the fun jazz, of course, the FOC market report, and talk about the hottest topics of the week as well. So don't forget, next week, Michael Schwartz, and I want to remind everybody, tomorrow night, Comic Legion goes live on their YouTube channel, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. They're going to bring you guys the new comic book day books of the week. So if you missed them at FOC and you want to grab some of those books, go check out Comic Legion over on YouTube, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and go get yourself some amazing books. It's a spicy week too, so yeah, you might want to check that out. Now, I'm not going to keep her waiting too long. She was heavily missed this week over on Cover Price, so let's bring her in right away, guys. Don't gotta wait. Laura's here. What's up, Laura?
Hi. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited.
Likewise, I'm excited too. You're the one who hit me up. I didn't ask.
That's true. I had to beg to be on this show.
That's false. That's false. You didn't beg
On
at
my
all.
hands and knees, and he finally conceded.
That's pure BS. She literally she hit me up. She's like, "Hey, I want to be on this date. Can I?" Sure. We'll move everybody around. Let's do this. But no, I'm kidding. She obviously was missed this week. Like I said, it was a very, very interesting week, Laura. Can we say that?
It was. I definitely needed the break, so I'm grateful to be back on this and to kind of kick it back off. But I was like this close to just being done with YouTube.
No, okay, no. We can't have that. We can't have that. We need Laura, especially on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, Thursdays you're kind of faded away now, but you tend to fill in every now and then. But Tuesdays, we need you. Where are you going? Where do you think you're going? But yeah, so big week. Another thing that took place this week, unfortunately, we did hit the 1 year mark since we lost Tim. So guys, who knows? Maybe there will be some more surprises later tonight. But like I said, big week, Laura. Fan Expo took place. You told me you didn't actually go.
No.
It was Anthony.
Yeah, Ant was our boots on the ground. I was with our daughter in New York, but he got to kind of see everything and he kept me posted on what was happening. And it was a good con from what I understand. Really busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were giving some deets, which we'll definitely dive into a little later into the hot topics portion of.
You're not gonna tell everybody what's happening later, or should I just shut up? I'll just shut up.
Well, I mean, you could tell people what's going on for later. I mean, we could even give them a glimpse. Like we might have surprises throughout the show, but
Crystal, what the hell? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny because we were backstage. I'm like, hey, dude, do you have a like a blonde wig? Just maybe we could swerve people out the gate.
Yeah, we're basically twins, so
yeah, there you go. Yeah, I could see it. I'm sure there it is. It's there. We have it. But Chris, we'll see you in a bit. Say hi to everybody. But yes, there's gonna be some surprises throughout the show. I love Chris. Look at him supporting in the back.
That's fantastic. Oh.
Yeah, but is Anthony's still not back, I imagine, from the con, right?
He'll be home later tonight. He took our son with him, so our little bird flew the coop as well, and yeah, they did really well. They had a good time and they had a lot of fun together.
That's good. Awesome. Well, you and I spoke a little bit backstage. My chalice is out. Everybody's asked for it, so the chalice is back.
What's the deal with the chalice? I think I missed that episode.
So yeah, there was just one night where I was running late. I was running late for the start of the show, and I just grabbed whatever glass. I grabbed the glass. This was what was in front of me, so I took it, went live, and nobody let me forget about that. That I went on stream with the chalice. So now
I like it.
Dude, you know what? It's my wife's, and I keep telling everybody this. Like, it keeps the drink nice and cold. You know what I mean? So we have a bottle to go.
Yeah, it's like you were at the Last Supper.
Oh, not you two now. Not you two now. Love it. But anyways, guys, we have a stacked show. I see you all in the chat. I appreciate everybody being here. Same faces, and I love you guys so much for always coming to support. But we have a lot to get into tonight. So let me start off by kicking off the FOC selections of the week. Laura, are you ready?
I'm ready.
She's ready. Let's go. Vamos. All right, guys, it's the FOC selections of the week by our brother Lefteros in collaboration, of course, with Cover Price. So make sure to go check out Cover Price for the full extended list of Lefteros' picks of the week. But we're about to dive right into them anyways. So come hang out. If you live in the United States, you want to pick up any of these books, go visit comicnation.us. They give you 15% off of the cover price. Get an additional 5 by using discount code Black Crown. Or hey, maybe there's other websites too that you might want to visit, right, Laura? Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe if you guys feel like it.
There you go. But yes, you have comicnation.us. Feel free to check out Bird City as well. But if you're in Canada, you've also got Comic Legion, where they give you 20% off of the cover price already, but get an additional 5 if it's your first order by using discount code ENLIST. Again, comiclegion.ca. Now, to kick off the list, guys, book number 1. Look at this sick homage cover, Laura. This is Illuminati number 1. It's the cover A, a dark conspiracy tale presented by Charlemagne the God. DMX, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, album cover homage. I love this. I love this. I know they did this one with Laura Kinney, X23, of course, but I gotta say, this sounds interesting and looks great. I love this cover.
There's another one that did an homage to this. I'm trying to remember. It was Javon Jordan did an homage to this cover that turned out really well as well. Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah. I think this is an automatic pickup for myself. Again, I'm intrigued by the story, but the cover is definitely. I don't know if this falls under a cover grab or do I want to pick this up for the read? Most likely both. So yeah, I'm gonna pick this up, give it a read.
What's the concept here? Do you know?
So it's a dark conspiracy tale presented by Charlemagne the God. Now I'm not too familiar with Charlemagne the God. Maybe I'm a little bit out of touch with stuff like that. But do you have any idea who Charlemagne?
I heard it in like Sunday school years ago, but that's about as far as it goes for me as well.
Yeah, the only thing Google gave me was that he's an American radio host. Is what I know. Pretty much all I know.
That's what I'm referring to here.
Yep, that's all I know. Michael Baker claims your T-shirt, by the way, which is a.
You can have it. I'll send it to you. Might smell like perfume, but you can have it.
Still waiting for mine, man. Still waiting for mine. But yeah, so this is an awesome book on the list tonight. Now, up next, Department of Truth 31 is on FOC this week as well. This gives us the introduction of the Hat Man, a figure associated with sleep paralysis. Now, I'm not too familiar with that, but one thing I am familiar with is Department of Truth. I know that everybody, speculated on this in its peak. Everybody was looking forward to some kind of announcement. It's only a matter of time. I think we all agree on that one. This is inevitable. But, man, I got to say the delay between some of these issues it always kills it, right?
That is what it is. There's too much of a lag and people like have a short attention span and oh, yay. But yeah, I remember when this first came out, it was just absolutely huge and everybody was doing exclusives and variants of this. And to have it come back, I don't feel like it got the same amount of attention when it came back.
Yeah, no, for sure. It didn't. It's funny you mentioned the exclusive stuff because, yeah, there's been a ton of exclusives when it comes to Department of Truth. We're going to talk the exclusive stuff at the end of the show, guys. It's going to get spicy. But when it comes to exclusives, yeah, Department of Truth, and what's cool is they've done so many homages, even to album covers, Metallica, you name it. There's movies. There was so many that were done. But yeah, I think it's up there for one of the... the most. Could it be?
We did several of these at the very beginning as well. And again, I was reading this series at the beginning, but then I have not jumped back on. There was just too many things that took its place. So
yeah. Well, we're going to talk some other fun exclusives as well in the aftermarket, the market report, because yeah, there's a book on there I can't wait to talk to you about. But anyways, Department of Truth 31 is on the list tonight for FOC. But up next, another book that I felt like was on FOC every week for the last couple of weeks is Barbarella issue number 5. This is the cover.
Coming out.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, I think this is it, guys. But yeah, Barbarella issue 5 cover C. It's the Akira homage cover featuring Barbarella. I like this, but there's also the incentive as well. So it's a 1 in 15. If you want to pay a little more premium for the Virgin, feel free to do so. But you have the option. It looks like it's finally going to be coming out. It's on FOC this week. Like this, I love Akira homages, man. It's like I'm so easily convinced when I see one. It's terrible. No matter what cover, it's really bad.
Yeah, I mean, Absolute Batman was a big one that was like the one
Oh,
everybody's trying to get a hold of. Can you go back to the previous screen? I want to see it with the trade. I think I actually prefer it with the trade, which is rare for me. Normally, I'm all about the Virgin, but I think I like it better with.
I'm more of a trade person as well, so I agree with you on that one. Not
Mm,
because I'm a cheap bastard, guys. It's really because I just prefer the trade. It looks better, but either way, both look great. So there you have that. And yes,
that's cool.
cover price saying that the ink is made with Sydney Sweeney's bath water. Guys, I don't know if you saw that. That was ridiculous. Absolutely
Is
ridiculous.
that a real thing or is that a rumor?
Laura, it's a real thing, man. On eBay, they're selling well over $100.
Ugh, okay. Okay.
Like, what do you do with that? Do you bathe with that? Do you smell it? Do you cook it? What are you doing? I don't get it. Why?
Probably these guys, whoever's buying it's probably doing all of the above.
Hey, listen, they were selling jarred farts once upon a time, so whatever. But whatever. But anyways, Barbarella issue 5, the 1 in 15 incentive, and as well the trade. So you have both options. But up next, we've got Savage Sword of Conan issue number 9. Neil Adams cover. This is stunning. The cover C comes in a Virgin, also available in a trade, guys. I like this. I love Neil Adams. I think this is an automatic cover grab for myself. Don't even care for the read. This is just a straight cover grab.
Just something they had in the vault.
Sorry?
Which is just something they were holding on to.
I guess, because it's really nice.
One of my only OAs is Neil Adams back there. One of my few that I have. I'm grateful
Really?
to own it. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
curious to see this OA eventually. Laura, you got to show us.
it's on
Yep.
the wall back there.
All
I'll
right.
grab
No,
it there.
not tonight, but it's okay. We spend plenty of time within the week. I just want to see. But all right, Savage Sword of Conan, issue number 9, the cover C. Now up next, guys, this was a fun read, but I gotta say, man, the homages to this just hit me in all my favorite areas because Lost Fantasy number 1 goes to a third printing, and it is a Final Fantasy 7 homage. They did this with the second print, now giving us the third print with some slight color changes there, as you can see on the green banner. Love this. Love this.
Shocker, you love this.
I was waiting for you to
Right
jump
up your
in.
alley.
I was waiting for that, but yeah, this is a pickup for myself. Automatic. Really enjoyable read and a wonderful cover. So yeah, I gotta have this. But Laura, Beneath the Trees, Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring. That's right, guys. Beneath the Trees is coming back, and this time it's with a sequel. Nobody, and I mean nobody, thought that this would be such a huge thing when it did drop, right? And Beneath the Trees just exploded. Now, what's going to happen with this? I don't think it will. I think Beneath the Trees caught everybody by surprise originally, but it is nice that we're finally going to have a sequel to the story. I love this. Like the kid style art, like those kid books that we read back in the day, but you get like the serial killer I want to say Dexter esque vibes on this one.
I thought
Uh,
it was a prequel. This is a sequel?
Sequel.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm gonna check because I don't believe you.
Okay, fine.
We're-
You do your research, but yeah, let me know once you do your research. To my knowledge, this is a sequel. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. I really enjoyed Beneath the Trees, so yeah, this is a pickup for the read. Now up next,
Yes, it is a
absolute.
sequel.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
there you go.
You're
There you go. Up next, Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 9, the cover A, possible first appearance of an Absolute Universe Amazon. I look. I'm enjoying the Absolute Universe. I always say Ultimate for some reason. I mix up the two. Are you caught up with this? Are you in?
No, you just said number 9. I think the last issue I read was 4.
Oh, yo, yo, oh, yo,
Mm.
yo. But listen, don't worry about it. Keep it on the back burner because man, you read this straight, it's really going to be enjoyable. But you're
Yeah.
getting the possible first appearance of an Absolute Universe Amazon, so that's pretty interesting. We're going to continue to see this universe growing, so you might want to pick that up. It's been pretty good so far. Not my favorite out of the batch. I know some people are saying that Absolute Wonder Woman is their favorite. Not knocking you, but I, I'm preferring some of the other stuff. Like I really am enjoying Absolute Batman, even though some people hate it. So it is what it is. It is what
I
it
liked
is.
Kelly Thompson. After 1 and 2, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be the best one," but then on 3, I was like, yeah." So,
Yeah, it's
I'll catch
amazing.
up.
Yeah. But up next, speaking Wonder Woman, guys, we have New History of the DC Universe #1. Two amazing covers coming out for this one and even some others. But with this, we have the Dan Mora to the left. Love Dan Mora, but man, the
Mhm.
Archer one, so good. Like, I love it.
It's perfect. That should be a poster, a print. It's timeless, it's evergreen, and it's Art Germ at his best. One of the main reasons I started collecting was because of Art Germ. So
Really?
to see
Oh, yeah,
this,
you've told me this.
it's this Catwoman cover, where she's scratching her neck. That one I think is just flawless. But this is up there. That's really, really damn good.
Yep. I say this every week, guys. I feel like DC comes from my wallet with the all the variants, the card stocks, the B's, the C's, the D's. They just come for the wallet because their covers are just so good. So good.
Yeah.
But anyways, up next, speaking DC, another amazing cover, guys. Flash 22. Almost the thumbnail picture for tonight. It just looks so good. But Yasmin Putri did an amazing job on this cover. I love this. If I was an artist, I wouldn't be thinking of drawing something from an above view. You know what I mean? This looks very well done. Love it. You can even see, I think he's got like his earphones in his ear getting ready for takeoff. Really well done.
Anything Putri, I typically pick up if I stumble across it. There's just there's so many good covers. This one, I wouldn't have off the bat have known that it was a Putri until you said something because it's different for him. The angle's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this too. This is nice.
Lefthero saying I should have thumbnailed this for the show tonight. I
I
want
think I'm
to,
with him on that one. I think, yeah, I'm with you, Left.
but I went with a female Mark Spears character. It's Laura. I thought it made sense, right?
Oh,
Right?
oops! Now I feel like a jerk. Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is really good. Like so far, this is my favorite. This even beats the Art Germ for me.
Damn. But yeah, it's a stunning cover. Love this. Probably, yeah, I agree with you. It's in the top 3 of my favorite covers this week. But up next, guys, Fantastic Four. First Steps, #1. We've got Phil Noto doing these covers, and what's interesting is there's a subtle change to these covers. So, of course, the movie's coming. We're gonna all get hyped. We see this cover. I love this, but you notice the subtle change on the right, the little, instead of the white, we're
Yeah, it's
getting
the boots.
the boots, the belt, the trims. It's all black. Is this where we're headed? Is this where we're headed? I would love that, but yeah, I'm not gonna start speculating, guys. Don't get crazy and be like, oh, he said that this might be it. No, that's not it at all. I just think they both look great. I'm excited for this movie. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. I think it looks really good. As soon as that trailer dropped, it was just this flood of people's opinions, and I was like, dude, just give it a second before you decide you hate it. But I think it looked great. Looking
People
forward to it.
people enjoy hating way too quickly for some reason. But anyways, let's wait till the movie comes out. I agree, and then we'll take it from there. But
Yeah.
moving on from this, guys, we've got another amazing cover. This one definitely falls into the top 3 for me. Ultimate Wolverine issue #7. Perillo always kills it, man. And like, I kind of feel like this is an homage to something. I just don't know what it is. Like I've seen something like this before, but his work is so great. I love this cover.
This would be an example of one that I would prefer as a virgin, though. I think the trade and the barcode is a little bit distracting to the artwork, but I do like the storyline. I am almost caught up on Ultimate Wolverine. I think I'm on 5.
Oh, it's so
So
good, so good. Yeah, I'm really enjoying Ultimate Wolverine. Like, what a wicked take on this character, and yeah, it's been great. But an amazing cover as well, included right here with issue 7 by Perillo. So, up next, guys, Biker Mice from Mars hits us with another #1, which I feel like we just got a #1 not too long ago.
yeah, I was
Um,
confused. How'd that happen?
right? But we have the 1 in 100 incentive here.
Okay.
This is You got Throttle on the cover. Simon Bisley did this one. Very nice cover. I want to say I get like borderline Eastman vibes on this.
A little bit. Yeah, it kind of reminds you of like his turtle work. A little bit.
Yeah, borderline. Speaking
Mm.
Biker Mice from Mars and just bikers in general, just want to check on the guy in the back. He's good. Okay, good. But anyways, moving on from Biker Mice from Mars. Oh, sorry, skipped one. We have Hello Darkness issue #12. This is the 1 in 20 incentive. Guys, Panosians, simply becoming one of my favorite artists, like
Yeah.
literally of today. And like I feel like no matter what title he's doing work on, he always hits a home run. Like I love it. Love it. This is a beautiful cover.
He's very distinctive, and he's probably one of the nicest people I've ever talked to. So shout out to him. He's doing such a great job, and he's a nice person, which I like that too.
Yeah. So
Hello,
you,
Darkness. I like these too because they're the anthology series, so you don't necessarily have to feel intimidated if you miss the previous 11.
yeah, fair. Now I'm curious about this Panosian conversation. This was in person or was it online?
No, we talk online. Who did the butt one? It wasn't him, was it?
The
You know,
butt
the
one?
girl, yeah, like where she's standing on the ocean, you just see like ass and waves in the background. It was huge at the very beginning of all these Hello Darkness series.
I think it was. I'm not
I
sure.
don't know, maybe the chat will know. I can't see the comments,
I don't
so
want. I don't want to Google "Hello Darkness" ass cover because I might get other things. But yeah, if anybody in the chat knows, let us
it
know.
was towards the beginning, but like again, I can't read the chat. Somebody out there will know. I think it was either 2 or 3. Oh, there you go, Michael Baker, 3. Was it Dan that did that cover? Do you remember?
Yeah, could be. I don't know. We'll rely on Michael Baker, who is a key staple here in the show. So let us know.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Rivera according to Cover Price. So there you go.
You're right. Palo, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Cover Price.
Beautiful. Gotta love
Mm.
Cover Price. Thank you guys. All right. Moving on from this, Hyde Street issue number 7. Hyde Street's been great, but the 1 in 20 incentive, this cereal box spoof, yo, it kind of makes me even want to buy these and
I
wish this was
love
a cereal.
this.
Yeah,
This is
like
great.
I want to have this and just go through Saturday morning cartoons. You know what I mean? From like 8
Oh
to
my
12.
god. I love it. This is great. This is one of those covers that like I would completely just buy it without having any idea what Hyde Street's about. Yes. Love it.
Yeah, listen, everything that's happening right now in the Ghost Machine universe has been home run after home run. Like I'm really
Yeah.
enjoying all of it. I encourage everybody, please get on it. Get on it. Hyde Street especially is just such a wild, wild read. But this cereal box variant for the incentive, genius. And I gotta give them kudos because I love seeing ratios being done with new covers. I don't like the stuff that's happening over at Marvel, to be honest with you. Sometimes DC too, when you get the ratio as just a version of a cover that's available at cover price. I like when they do things like this. So for me, this is a win. I love it. Great cover. Great cover. But
Except for peanut butter's gross. Other than that, we're good.
what, peanut butter's gross?
Can't stand it. Blech.
Oh, I even see Chris nodding backstage. I don't know, man.
Peanut butter's nasty. Anthony loves peanut butter. He puts it on like everything, and he loves peanut butter ice cream, which is like, ugh.
Anthony's the man. He is the man.
Mm.
You guys don't like Reese chocolates?
No, that's
Oh
his
my.
favorite. He throws them in the fridge, and I'll like find all the wrappers everywhere. I don't like peanut butter. It's too peanut buttery, you know?
Oh Jesus.
Too nutty.
Nutella with peanut butter in a sandwich? Like, whoa,
Mhm.
that's next level. No, okay. Anyways, moving on, guys. Moving on. Up next, we have X-Men Hellfire Vigil number 1, the 1 in 50 incentive. Rose Besh. Oh man, she crushed it on this cover. Also available in a trade, guys. But this as a virgin is stunning.
I love it. Rose Besh is always a little hit and miss for me.
No, this is
But
sick.
sometimes she's kind of the like she's like Peach Momoko for me. Like some of her covers, I'm like, yes, and other ones I'm like, meh. This is fantastic. This is really well done. And it fits that whole Hellfire theme perfectly. So yeah, I like it.
Right? She's all
Mhm.
bedazzled, looking good. But yeah, no, it's a sick cover, man. I love Rose Besh's art. I get what you mean by the hit or miss. There are some that are quite a miss, but this one is just amazing. Love this cover. As a virgin, looks way better than the trade. And I rarely say that, guys. Rarely say that. Jeffrey labeling this possibly cover of the year candidate. Look at that.
Well, yeah, and if you
Amazing.
go to a con, she's so nice and she does fantastic remarks. So if you can get her in person to do a remark on this, whew,
Yeah.
be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Love this cover. Love it. Beautiful. Anyways, moving on. Speaking beautiful covers, all new Venom issue number 8, the 1 in 100 incentive. It's a Mary Jane cover by Fan Yang, but also available as a trade. This goes complete opposite 180 of what I was talking about with Hyde Street. Yeah, 1 in 100. You can pick this up as a trade cover price, but yeah, still a nice cover. I love this.
It reminds me of somebody. Is it Inyuk Lee maybe a little bit?
I want to say that in Yokli. Yeah, I
I
would
wonder
say.
how many people are ordering 100 of the all new Venom 8s.
I don't
This
know
might
if
be
anybody's still enjoying it after the big reveal. To be honest
That's what
with
I
you.
mean. Like, this might become one of those books that end up being a ghost just because nobody was buying enough to qualify.
Yeah. So you need gifts, goods, and books. Please, the Nutella and peanut butter sliced bread, man. You do one slice and then the other slice. You know what I mean? Nutella, the other slice, peanut butter. You're living. That's next level living.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could tell I was broke when I was younger. But anyways, moving on. Up next, guys, the book that sent people spiraling apparently last week, and it did make cover prices top 10 as well. You remember we were talking about Miles Morales, Spider-Man issue 33, where we got the first appearance of Keisha Kwan as Powerlift. Now, that final panel, well, of course, this is now the second print over on Miles Morales, Spider-Man issue 33. So if you missed out, here's your opportunity to read the book. If you want to speculate, whatever it is that you guys are into, I personally think it's a great character, very fun. She was throughout the entire issue involved, and then at the big ending, you pretty much see her like this, and yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But Marvel doing Marvel things, guys, with the next 1 in 25 incentive. As I said, this was available as a regular cover over on the first print, now being used on the second print 1 in 25 ratio. Yeah.
It's almost like we have to predict that now. Like, we have to expect it. It's become kind of the practice. So
It is.
know that when the first printing comes out and be aware and kind of expect it to happen.
It's always going to happen. At
Mhm.
least, yeah. I won't get any further into that, but still available on FOC, guys. If you're into it, pick it up. No one's judging. But a big one that's coming out and on FOC this week, guys. Captain America #1. This is the main cover, and it's the new ongoing series for Captain America. We're gonna have a possible introduction of the all-new Howling Commandos, which is pretty cool. But what really has me on board with this, you got Chip Zdarsky over on Captain America. It kind of seemed inevitable. Like, he was just on Batman. You guys are aware of that, and that came to like a sudden halt, right? As we got towards the Hush stuff. And now we have him back at Marvel doing Captain America, which is very, very exciting. I love this cover. I love me some Captain America. But up next, we also have Marvel Rivals variants that are still coming out. And we have one of Captain America here. Now, we haven't had any with Captain America, to my knowledge, up until now, as such. So, you might want to pick this up. I don't think it's going to explode on the aftermarket because that phase has kind of died out already. But still a nice pickup. And another person who's slowly, not slowly, rapidly become one of my favorite artists is Villa Lobos. I love his art. I think he does great work. This is available as a trade as well, but this 1 in 200 is stunning.
It's fantastic. That's my favorite of the 3, and we were talking about this over, with Zach a while back, and yeah, as long as Chip Zdarsky's at the helm, I think we're in good hands.
Yeah,
The other 2 covers, they're okay. I've never been a big fan of the Rivals stuff. They remind me too much of design variants, which don't do it for me, but
yeah,
this is really well done, so yeah, Lobos knows his stuff. This is cool.
absolutely. Laura, I'm in need already of a refill. How you doing over there?
I am too! I didn't wanna be rude and, like, get up and go get one, though.
No, here, look, we're pouring as we go.
I
As
can't
we
pour,
go.
I have to go to the fridge to grab
Go,
one.
go, don't worry. Go to the fridge.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be back in, like, 2 seconds. Give me 2
I got the
seconds.
next book. We ain't gonna stop anybody from drinking tonight. Let's go. But anyways, Captain America #1, guys, is on FOC. Exactly, Chip. I agree with you. It's Chip. He's gonna cook. He's gonna cook. And don't forget, guys, we're gonna see him have an encounter with Doom as well from back in time as well. So this is gonna be very interesting exchange. Can't wait to see that. Now, up next, beautiful cover. We have Universal Monsters, The Mummy, issue #4. This is the 1 in 75 incentive. Maria Wolf doing amazing work. I love Maria Wolf's work. This is a great cover. Do I
Have you ever met her?
I have not met her.
She's the most fun. She's a party and a little person. She's like an explosion of energy. She's great. Sorry,
Well,
continue.
I guess I'm gonna look forward to meeting her at the next con, hopefully. But yeah, I think it's a stunning cover, but I don't foresee many shops ordering 75 copies of Universal Monsters, The Mummy, issue #4. So that being said, I think this might be a sleeper, guys. I think this might be a sleeper. Given there won't be too many out there, I could see this going for a little bit of a premium after its drop.
This is awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
Maria is fantastic. Her line work is insane. She was at the Shortbox Con a couple of years back, and just watching her do her stuff, like it's incredible. I would put her up there with like Frank Cho when it comes to line work, and that's saying something because I love Cho's lines,
Oh
but
yeah.
she's really, really damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
Derek in the chat saying he met Maria Wolf.
She's
What?
great, isn't she? She's so
Yeah.
much fun.
That's
Yeah.
amazing, man. I gotta get to more cons. But I'm in Canada, guys. Our cons. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Whether you want to admit it as or not, as Canadians, our cons aren't the best, bro.
Mm.
So yeah, more travels to the States in the near future, hopefully. But anyways, up next, guys, Mark Spears Monsters issue number 2 is going to a third printing. Here we have the werewolf cover. Of course, the cover is done by Mark Spears. I've said it before on the Cover Price shows with you and the crew. I find Mark Spears really shines when he does original work, like his own stuff. Like he really does an amazing job. Don't get me wrong, I do like homage covers, but it's just something about his original stuff. Like, man, he does this with love. You see it.
Yeah, I like this. I agree with you too. I think the homages have hit. There's a couple of them where I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes complete sense. But when he does his own thing, that's what
Yep,
made him explode. It's been, yeah. And it's
agree.
such a good book. If you guys aren't actually opening these, the monsters interiors are just as good as the exteriors. So this is one of those ones where if you're just buying them for covers, crack them open. The stories are really good and the art on the inside's really good.
Yeah, Chia Pet is a little disgruntled here because yes, Fan Expo is the third biggest con in North America. Yes, but besides that, what else do we got? You know what I mean? Like I'd rather an even year of just great cons than just being in top 3 with one. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. But
Yeah.
anyway, back to Mark Spears, guys. It doesn't end there with Mark Spears because yes, we have the third printing for issue number 2, but it also comes with a 1 in 20 incentive here where you got Dracula in his coffin. Love this one. This is also a very nice Mark Spears cover.
I've been hearing some fishy things happening over at KeenSpot with regards to their incentive covers. I'm not sure because I don't buy from their site, but I saw somebody posting that the incentive prices are kind of going up along with the market.
Yeah.
What? His pants seem to.
what a thing to point out.
It does seem like kind of like a, yeah.
Not enough of a bulge for Derek is what he's talking
Be a
about.
little bit more, right?
Yep. But,
Yeah. Anyway, so if you're looking for the incentives, I would get on board with those quickly because I think KeenSpot is keeping an eye on how they're growing on the aftermarket and they're adjusting their prices accordingly. So the sooner you can grab an incentive, the more likely you are to get a better price on them.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Yikes. That's all I'm going to say. Yikes. But let's move on from this because since we're talking Mark Spears, yes, guys,
Right.
we have more Mark Spears covers and he's doing DC stuff with Absolute Superman, Absolute Batman, and Absolute Wonder Woman. And I love all 3 covers, but I still prefer his stuff over on Monsters. Just my opinion. My opinion.
I don't know. Everything he does just hits for me. All of it does. I even like Wonder Woman here. She's kind of like in my vibe right now. She just seems dark and she's done putting up with shit and she's just ready to go kick some ass.
I
You
love
can
it,
see
Laura.
it.
We called it out. We called it out backstage. Laura with the dark lights. I feel the vibes. I feel the vibes. Waiting.
I can't fix the lights, guys. Anthony changed something before he left, and I know they're being all wonky. I can't fix it. So
Laura, you want me to talk to Alexa for you?
no.
No.
Oh, she's gonna listen to you. Alexa,
Yeah.
turn the lights red.
Yeah, but I do like the Wonder Woman the best of the 3. That's just my opinion. So love it.
It's a different rendition of her. You don't usually see her looking so. I don't know what the word is. It's not goth, but she just looks different. She looks just
It's okay.
done.
Well, I'll take goth. I'll take it because I could totally
Mhm.
see it. Totally see it. But moving on from this, guys, Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe #1. That's right. When we have the main cover, first issue of a 5-part miniseries featuring Godzilla versus the Marvel Universe. Nobody asked for this, but when it does happen, they are kind of enjoyable, whether we like it or not. If you read it, you might enjoy it. You have the cover A right here, also available in a 1 in 100. Chris saying that Wonder Woman looked like she got dumped. Yes, absolutely. Spot on. But back to Godzilla, like I said, you have the 1 in 100, and up next you also have the John Tyler Christopher action figure variant, which is pretty cool. You know, I really first seeing it didn't even notice it was an action figure one. Like I had to take a second look and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it now. I think the the little cardboard cutout for the hanger was the giveaway. But I like this. I like this cover. I think John Tyler Christopher does great work. But this is pretty interesting because this is the Galloway variant, and it's got the first cover appearance of Godzuki. That's right, Godzuki. Look how cute Godzuki.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys look, I'm kidding about the cuteness, but who knows, man? Godzuki for kids, guys, might it might stick the landing. We'll see. Um, sure, I'll leave it at that. I'll wait. Yeah, the new Jeff, Chris, exactly. Is that going to be the thing? We'll see. But Godzuki has a first cover appearance on this issue, so you might want to pick that up. Now, if you guys enjoyed any of the books we spoke about for this FOC list, don't forget you can go and visit comicnation.us if you live in the States. Want to order any of these books? No one's telling you to order any of them. You just pick up whichever ones you liked. Go visit comicnation.us, 15% off of the cover price. Get an additional 5% off by using discount code Black Crown. Now, if you're in Canada, comiclegion.ca's got you back, 20% off every week of your order, but 5% off as an additional discount if it's your first order. And don't forget, guys, go check out coverprice.com. Lefteros' full details behind his picks for tonight's books could be found over there. And you could also find us on Cover Price's YouTube page. That's right. Go check it out. Laura hosts the top 10 every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be there also. And then on Thursdays, chilling with the crew, bringing you the Shakers at 9 p.m. Eastern as well. And for myself, if you're enjoying yourself, hit the subscribe, hit the like, comment. Let us know what's up. Laura, we did it. We did the FOC.
I look like the chick from Willy Wonka right now that goes to the blueberry room.
Willy Wonka. Oh my God.
Don't I? I don't know why I'm blue. My lights are white, but I look blue.
Well, they've been changing throughout the show. Are you controlling that, or
I'm not doing anything. Like, this is just whatever the camera is doing. I'm just letting it do its thing. See, now I look red.
Are they mood lights? Like, is it reading?
I don't know. Like, Ant changed the cameras out before he left, and now I'm just I'm just going with it. We'll see what happens.
Good times.
Mood lights. Now I'm angry. Now I'm happy.
Yeah, good times. Well, Laura, I mean, most people know us from, talking over at Cover Price, going through some of the aftermarket sales, and we do some of that here as well. Now, you guys can also check out Laura at Nearing Nirvana because they go live immediately after the Top 10 show. Nearing Nirvana is the shit. You got amazing girls hosting that show. You don't want to miss that, man. All four of them doing great things. You guys have been crushing it lately. I got to say, man, there's something going on. You guys have ramped it up. You ramped it up. The crew just gels well. I love watching. I tune in immediately after the show and bug Laura and the crew.
We like having you there. The girls are great. There's a lot of knowledge between them, and it's an honor to be a part of it.
There you go. But all right, let's kick off the market report. Laura, you ready?
Ready.
Let's go. Oh yeah, it's the market report, guys. This is where we go through some of the sales that take place. I'm checking out some of the other platforms, all platforms, whether it be the House of Stein, CBSI, Cover Price, Key Collector, Go Collect, checking sales over on eBay. If you have an Instagram, you're sharing a sale that may have taken place, I'll check it out. But most importantly, Michael Baker. That's right. He brings me the Baker Shakers. He hits me up every single day saying, yo, Lando, look what sold. So we gave him the title, Baker Shakers. That's what's up.
I like it.
Yeah, right? It has a nice ring to it. So let's check out the first sale of a book that sold this week. We have Exquisite Corpses #1, and this being from Fan Expo. That's right. Fan Expo books are definitely going to be selling all weekend long and probably for the next couple of days, weeks, whatever it may be. It's going to hit some lists as we move forward. But this one, like I said, being from Fan Expo Dallas this weekend, this is Ivan Tao, Davis Rider exclusive that was limited to 300 and a run near mint sold for $140. It was on Cover Price's daily shaker over on their website. Now, I love Ivan Tao, but man, whether you guys like exclusives or not, fuck, this is one of Ivan Tao's better covers. This is amazing.
I agree. I think that it's very black and white when it comes to Tao. People either love him or they hate him, and this is really well done, really good movement. And you pair that with Exquisite Corpses, which is fantastic, and you got a winner.
I agree. Now I know there was another cover I think available of this. It was kind of like mirrored in the other direction, and I think it was like gold or whatever. But very nice. I like it. But before we get on to the next book, Laura, we got a super chat from Love for Comics. I
Yay!
yeah. Thank you, Love for Comics. I
Thank
got nothing
you.
for love but love for you, so appreciate you. Stick guys, Love for Comics. Please go check out his whatnot. Check him out over on Instagram. One of the nicest guys within the community, always showing some love. So I appreciate you, Love for Comics. I know it's in his name, but he is a very loving person, man. So I definitely appreciate you. But yeah, we'll have him on very soon as well. So keep an eye out for that show. But regardless, Exquisite Corpse is number one, guys. Forget the exclusives, forget the covers. The read. The read was amazing. I'm fully on board. So I love seeing some people now seeing exclusives. Maybe they'll want to pick up an issue for the read, whatever it is. Love this. So Exquisite Corpse is number one. Run your mint, $140 US. But up next, this is the book I was excited to talk to you about, Laura. Detective Kaiju, number one. The 1 in 25 ratio, cover by Sveta Shubina. Run your mint, $250. That is huge. Came in at number one on the House of Stein. Now, House of Stein just went live. I imagine this is going to crack the top 10. It's got to crack the top 10. So I saw so many copies selling, but this is an impressive number, 250. I know you've got some stuff to say about Shubina. I want to kudos you. I got to kudos Bird City because I learned about Shubina through Bird City.
Thank you. Yeah. We always try to find artists that aren't as well known as they should be. This one is a sore spot for me because we were supposed to get it, and a lot of stores, from what I understand, just didn't get their copies, and we were one of them. So I was unable to get my hands on this, but it's absolutely beautiful. And she's amazing. I think she's one of those people that are going to keep growing and get really big here soon. We're hoping to get her on one of the big twos. That's kind of in the works right now. Spoiler. But yeah, I love her stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, you guys were pretty much the ones who were starting to put me on the map, like putting Sveta on at least my map, the radar.
We had her first Vampirella. She was always wanting to do Vampirella, so we got her first Vampirella, and then we put her on Pop Kill 2, 3, and 4, which just shot that title out of the water. And so now everybody's going back and doing Pop Kills now because she did such a good job of bringing attention to that title. She's amazing. She's distinctive.
No, absolutely. But the artwork is amazing, man. Pin Apocalypse too, right? She did some.
Yeah, she does the ratios for that.
Yeah, some amazing work there as well. I love seeing Shubina stuff, and I think Shubina is definitely here to stay, man. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of Shubina. So love seeing the sale. Detective Kaiju number one, the 1 in 25 ratio. Ron Year Mint 250. I know we saw $150, $200 sales, but I did find one of 250 that took place within the last 24 hours. So looks like this is on a little bit of an incline.
That's incredible. Well done, Sveta.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, up next, guys, you spoke Pop Kill, and look at that. Bird City Comics exclusive that just came out and was limited to 50 for Pop Kill number one. Tony Trophy right here, CGC 98. Sold for $320, and it was a cover price daily shaker. Highest sale recorded to date so far. Look at that.
Yeah, I did not know that. That's okay. I didn't know this. Great. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know. That's amazing. Again, Tony's insanely talented. He's kind of an apprentice for Will Jack, so you can kind of see that he's still learning his craft, but he's really, really talented, and he's nice to work with. And this was one of our favorites. We thought it would be perfect. We had some remarks, but they already all sold out.
Really?
Yeah. We had some. They were selling for super cheap too, considering what this is going for. Yeah. I think when we launched this book originally, it sold out in like under a minute, but we kept the print run really, really low.
Yeah.
Some people hated that. Some people loved it, but that's what we did.
I love how we got such a natural, organic reaction from you, seeing the aftermarket sales.
Yeah, I didn't know this. Legit, I had no idea.
Yeah, no, but it's amazing to see this because, it's a stunning cover, but like now hitting $320 in a CGC 98. This is very impressive coin, especially for an exclusive. It was only limited to 50. That's amazing.
Do you want to know some background information on this?
Absolutely. This is what
we're allowed to cuss on your show?
You swear as much as you fucking want.
Oh,
Go.
okay, cool. So when we were talking with Tony, we were at the sketch phase, and Anthony goes, "I want her to have come fuck me eyes."
Yeah.
And Tony goes, "Come fuck me eyes. I can do that. I can do that. Come fuck me eyes." And we're like, "Great." So he sends us a sketch. We're like, nailed it. That was the whole point, is we wanted her eyes to pull you in.
I
Even though I guess people probably aren't looking at her eyes, but that's what we
yeah,
wanted. We
like
wanted her eyes.
I get distracted by the headlights, I'll be honest with you, but
Well, I mean, yeah, I get that. But I look at her eyes. Whenever I look at this thing, I'm just like, okay, he accomplished that. Because there's a certain angle that women have to do to get that across. And I think he did it.
yeah, I kind of give the Jim Carrey in Liar Liar, you know, the elevator scene when he's like, "Mama." And that's pretty much what I get out of this. But yes, now that you mention it and I look at the eyes, I do see it. The eyes are just definitely very inviting. Look at me. Hello. I like it.
Mhm.
But yeah, stunning cover. Congratulations on this one, by the way, because Pop
Right.
Kill #1, the Bird City exclusive, limited to 50 by Tony Trophy, CGC 98, selling at $320. That's right, Chris. Apparently she has eyes. Exactly. But all right. Moving on from this, guys, check this out. Baker Shaker, first one on the list this week. Wolverine issue 75. This takes us back to 1993, and it is a Blue Error hologram. CGC 98 selling at $500. So as you can see, the hologram here on the cover, this is a Blue Error. And it's kind of funny because CGC, when they label it distorted. It's a distorted hologram. But pretty interesting to see because the premium here on this for a CGC 98 at $500 because of this error is significant compared to what this is actually selling for as a just regular Wolverine 75 cover. So crazy.
Wait, what's it selling for as a regular?
I was seeing sales at like 150, 200 mark at most.
Uh,
Yeah.
there's a niche for this. There's a niche for those errors.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. People like collecting this stuff, and I don't blame them because you know some of these things they're hard to come across, and when you do come across them, as you can see, does demand a pretty good coin. So, guys, Wolverine 75, the Blue Error hologram for a CGC 98, $500. Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly, 5 to 10 raw. Exactly.
Wow. Okay. That says a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you need another refill? I'm almost there.
God, I'm drinking White Claws. I'm gonna do like my white girl thing over here, but I'm like halfway through this one.
Okay, come on. You're letting me down, Laura. Let's go. But anyways, up next, guys, we've got The Legend of Zelda, issue #4. Of course, I was going to end up talking some video game books, but this takes us back to 1990, and it's the first printing of issue #4. There's only 18 CGC 98s on the census, and just recently, a CGC 98 sold for $999. Wow,
Mm,
that is at the $1,000 mark. This is very impressive of a sale when it comes to this book. Crazy.
that is crazy. I wonder why. So just the rarity. That's what we're talking here.
Well, I mean, we are looking at 18. Now, guys, I don't know if you want to talk about this in the chat. Feel free. I don't want to dive too into this, but apparently there's also some casting rumors when it comes to the actual Zelda herself. It's actually going to be. You really want to know? Do you? Or
Wait, did you say Google it? All right, hold on.
if you want, I want to see your natural reaction to this because it's pretty interesting. I don't know.
All right, let's see. Casting rumors 2 days ago.
I know the chat's already on this one.
Oh, the chick from Maze Runner.
Well,
No,
yeah, exactly.
the director from Maze Runner.
No.
Okay, so it's Hunter Schafer?
Hunter Schafer, that's right. So
I mean, she has the pointy ears. That kind of works.
absolutely. The only thing that I keep thinking in the back of my head is that it's, you know, not entirely a she. So I don't know. I'm gonna watch the
Oh,
movie.
really?
Yeah, exactly. Whatever
Oh,
ended.
shit, I didn't know that. Sorry. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Look, the look is there, guys. Whether you want to admit it or not, definitely she has the look. And
Are you sure?
yeah, I'm sure. I'm positive.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But again, like I said, it's just I don't know. Maybe when I'm gonna be watching the movie, I'll be like, man, is Link really chasing this? You know what I mean? Like, is this what we're after? But it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. It's what it is. Like I said, I want to see what the chat thinks. If you're catching the replay, let me know what you think about that news. We'll eventually dive into
That
it.
was definitely an authentic reaction. I had no idea.
There you
Okay.
go. Laura, I like catching you in authentic reactions. This is the best shit ever. So thank you so much
I'm
for
like, wait, what? Really? Oh my
it.
god. I wouldn't have guessed that. Like honestly, I thought, okay. All right.
Many people wouldn't have until. But anyways, The Legend of Zelda, issue number 4, first printing with only 18 CGC 98s on the census, just sold for $999. Now up next, love this homage. You can't get I think it's one of the best when it comes to the hip hop variants, but Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man number 1, back in 2017, had a hip hop variant that homage Tupac's All Eyes on Me, and a CGC 98 just sold for 160 US dollars. Baker Shaker, also cover price Daily Shaker, because cover price also had it when I checked the website last night. And it is a top sale for this. $160 is the highest sales recorded to date. So pretty impressive. I think 160 for this cover is not too shabby.
It's not bad at all. If you guys recall correctly, there were tons of these done. There's
Yeah.
so many. I was like, oh, I'm gonna collect all of them, but that's like impossible. There's just so many. But they always came kind of beat up. I think it's just like the black bars. They always have spine ticks. So a 9.8 for 160, that seems like a steal.
I agree with you. That's what I'm saying is, although this is now the highest sale recorded over on cover price, I still think 160 is relatively fair, because I
Yeah, I
think
think
it's
it's
one of the better ones when it comes to the
the
homage.
silk one's really good. Jenny Frizen did a Lauren Hill one that's really good.
Yes, that one's amazing too. We just spoke with the all I Blood of My Blood, the DMX homage.
Yeah, that one's good. Trying to think what some we did a whole show on this over on the other channel, but yeah, they just again they get beat up. We bought this collection, we got a ton of them, but they're all just like just ticks everywhere. So 9.8, I'd pay 160 for that.
Yeah.
Your chat's funny. Okay, I can't see the comments, so I only see the ones that you put up, and yeah, that's funny.
Really? You could open the comments on the side. You can see it.
That information would have been valuable an hour ago.
Yo, everybody's going all night, man. I love
Oh
this
my
chat.
gosh, now I can see. I
Yo,
had it on private chat the whole
I
time.
show up every Sunday for this chat because they're the best out of majority. I just enjoy all of them, man. Amazing
Now I
people.
can see it.
There you go. But anyways, guys, Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man number 1, hip hop variant, homaging Tupac, All Eyes on Me. CGC 98 selling for 160 US dollars. Now up next, this one's getting a lot of traction because Avengers 55 takes us back to 1968. First appearance of Ultron. CGC 92 sold for 260 US dollars. Baker Shaker this week. But Ultron getting a lot of buzz because, of course, we're finding out that in Vision Quest, we're going to be seeing some Ultron and a lot more other characters as well. So, really
Good.
interesting.
Ultron's badass. I liked everybody that just shat on them. Sorry, I'm talking too much. This is
No,
what
you're
happens
not.
when I have
You're not
two
talking enough. Go.
Okay, because I really like Ultron. I'm excited to see if there's any type of pullback with that. Because I don't know. This is something I pay 260 for a 9.2. Yeah.
I go back to rewatch that movie very often. I find it enjoyable as much as people hated it. I think James Spader did it.
Hated it.
Guys,
Hated it. And I was like,
yeah.
it was great.
James Spader did a phenomenal job voicing Ultron. So I'm excited to see Ultron coming back. I think this book is kind of undervalued, to be honest with you. So just my opinion, the CGC 92, I'm a buyer at 260. I think it's a great price. So
Especially if you can crack it open and have Joe fix it up a little bit, get you a 9.4 or a 9.6. It's
yeah,
good value.
exactly. Couldn't agree more. But guys, check this out. Up next, New Mutants 98. This takes us back to 1991. Australian price variant. First appearance of Deadpool CGC 98, $3,369. Baker Shaker this week. Now, this was a sale over on Comic Link. So I know that this was bid. People were bidding. I think it hit something like 40 something bids. I don't have any platform to confirm at 100% when it comes to Comic Link, but I am going to report this because the bidding did come to end at this price, and a CGC 98 for this Australian price variant, definitely seeing some premium here at $3,369. Is that not crazy?
I mean, not really. Australian variants are just shit. if you look at the paper, they're just like they're garbage.
Yep.
So getting a 9.8, again, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. The paper quality definitely plays
Clip on
factor.
Comics, hear me out, man. Like it's like tissue paper.
Yeah.
And like you add the fact that it's been shipped, and they just don't get a lot of 9.8s in Australia. I learned that from Josh International Comics. So yeah, the foreign market's a beast. If
Yep.
you want to go play in it, this isn't a bad price for this book.
Yeah, no, it's wild, man. Very, very again, in my opinion, I'm okay with the direct. I don't mind. Like, you know what I mean? I'll just take that regular American version of it. Like, we're cool with that. But still very impressive. New Mutants 98 and a CGC 98 for the Australian price variant, guys, $3,369. Now, up next, guys, one of my personal
Oh, are you freaking kidding me? Why would this, Michael?
Yeah.
Oh, I want this book so damn bad. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, man. It's one of my favorite J. Scott Campbell covers. It's Amazing Spider-Man 688. You go back to 2012 on this one. It's the 1 in 50 ratio cover, and CGC 96 just sold for $1,000 US. Again, we're not hitting crazy coin where it's breaking records, but still, 1,000 is very impressive, even after the fact. Like, you're talking, you know, we're what, 13 years into since its release, and still holding a premium. I love this cover, and I agree with you, Laura. I wish I had it.
It's incredible. You don't think, when you think J. Scott Campbell, you think just, sexy books. But this is like such a good, like what Michael was saying, non-female cover. It's really well done. I've never seen it in person, and I've looked, I've dug, we've bought collection after collection. I've never come across it. So the rarity of it is definitely there. It's badass. This is really cool. A 9.6 for 1,000. I would take that as like a Mother's Day present over anything else. I'll take it.
If someone's spending $1,000 on Laura for Mother's Day, you are kid of the fucking century. Holy moly.
No, they did really well. They did well.
Hey, I don't know what jobs your kids have. Good for them, man.
They work for us. Our kids work for us. If you have a problem with shipping, you have a problem with my kids.
Jesus, I love that. But amazing. Yes, kids, please buy your mom this book because Amazing Spider-Man 688, the 1 in 50 ratio.
See it come to market though. Like, you never see this one pop up. It's so rare. So if somebody snagged it, I mean, well done you. Hold on to it, and
I agree with Laura 100% because the 9.6 of this one just sold for $1,000. Now, guys, I need to show you this. Spoke about this in the past, but Twisted Metal 2. Now, Laura, I know you're not too familiar with video games, but Twisted Metal is a video game. We also got a series that came out. It was a television series. Are you familiar at all? Or?
Oh, yeah.
So, no, at all.
No,
okay.
I have no idea what Twisted Metal is.
Okay. Well, anyways, this one takes us back to 1996, first appearance of Twisted Metal. There's only 3 CGC 9.6s on the census, and there's 0 9.8s, guys. So 9.6 is the highest one available when it comes to this one. Now, this was part of a giveaway contest. There was like 100 of them, and I think something like along the lines where only 50 were actually given away throughout that promotion contest, whatever it was. So no idea what's happened with the rest of the copies. They're probably stashed somewhere, or maybe somebody has them. I don't know where it's at, but a 9.6 just sold for $3,850 was on Cover Price's Daily Shaker, and it was the highest sale recorded to date. Very impressive. It's a super scarce book. You almost never see these come to sell. And what's also interesting and very kind of controversial, guys, is if you read this book and you check one of those last pages, there's actually a page. Don't forget, guys, this is 1996, where you see the World Trade Center being hit, and like it's like explodes and comes down.
That happens a lot. People are always like, "Oh, conspiracy theories." There were so many books and stories that featured the Twin Towers being hit before they were hit, because they were the largest building standing in New York.
Yeah,
like, any New Yorkers like, well, yeah, obviously people would play into that. So.
Yeah, I'm not going with the conspiracy theory thing, but it's just, you know, it is one of those things where if you read the book and you come across that, you might have a shocking moment and be like, oh, wow, I can't believe this happened. You know what I mean? But yeah. Nonetheless, very scarce book, very hard to come across. I love this book. Wish I could own one, but I am not going to pay $3,850 because that's what a CGC 9.6 just sold for.
Wow.
Now, I got to show you guys this. This is huge, guys. Uncanny X-Men issue 244. We're going back to 1989. Whether you love Jubilee or you hate Jubilee, I don't care where you stand. Somebody definitely adores Jubilee because the only 9.9 copy available on the CGC census just recently sold in a CGC 9.9 for $6,000 US. Saw this, I believe, also as a cover price. Daily Shaker. Michael Baker sending this my way as well. This is absolutely bananas. $6,000 for the only 9.9 copy. But good luck, because I don't think we're going to see another 9.9 out there.
I have mixed feelings about this. Jubilee is one of those characters where I'm like, I'm not in love with her. Like, you know me, I love Magneto. That's my guy. But I'm also not like, oh, like, she's a good character. Would I pay this? Probably not. I'd probably just go for a 9.8. But if you are a hardcore Jubilee fan, then go ahead. Be the only person on the census.
Yeah,
there's value in that, there is.
That's more what I think it comes down to. I don't think people are buying this shit because they care about Jubilee. I think it mostly comes down to the fact that like it's the only 9.9. You know what I mean? And like grabbing a book from 1989 and trying to find another copy that's a 9.9. I don't think we're gonna have any good luck. But very impressive. Would I do it? No. But somebody chose to do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, Uncanny X-Men 244. First appearance of Jubilee, the only 9.9 copy, just sold for $6,000. Now, guys, we're already done the market report. We made it through the show.
That's so freaking fast. I was like, oh my God. Is that how you normally do it?
No, I'm speeding it up a little bit because I have a little surprise for everybody.
As that quick, Nando? Are you usually that quick?
No. Yeah, babe. Hold on. I need to
no judgment. Check. No judgment.
No. You fact checked before. I'll fact check with my wife. Hold on. But back to the show, guys. What I wanted to say is that we have a lot to discuss. I want to get into the hot topics portion of the show. And like I said, Laura, you were heavily missed. This week was a big week. Unfortunately, like I said, we come across the 1-year anniversary of Tim's passing. We didn't get to see you this week over at Cover Price. We didn't get to hang out this week. So it's only awesome that we get to bring the crew back to you here this Sunday. So we have Chris, who was hanging out backstage. Chris, what's good, brother? We see you there. And of course, we also brought in Gabe. So you got Gabe. Now,
Gabe.
Yep, Gabe, the 2-pump chump. I'm in, I'm out, I'm sleeping.
And he's not ashamed of it. He's like, I'm done. I actually kind of find that as a compliment.
No more work than we need.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. Guys are like, oh, I was too quick. It's not a bad thing. Girls are
no. Yeah, what do you want? You want, a good, few minutes, or you want like a 45-minute just boring fest?
I would say like 7 minutes is like the prime spot.
7 minutes to heaven. Look at you, man.
There it is.
Oh, actually, yeah, 7 minutes to heaven. That's probably why they named it that. Anything beyond that, it's like, okay, I'm done here.
Laura, I don't know. I think maybe it's the alcohol, but if you need a refill, feel free.
I'm going to grab one. I'll be right back.
There you go. But Gabe, brother, what's going on, man? Welcome, bro.
We're going to get her sloppy tonight, man. Let's see what happens.
I've gone through a full bottle by myself.
Look at you. I don't have anything, man. I do, but I haven't ate a lot today, so tomorrow would be a bad morning if I started like pounding some whiskey right now.
Well, we need to get you something. Get some food. Get some grub. Order a pizza. You want me to Uber it to you? Let's go, man.
No, I don't want pizza. Thank you.
But all right, guys.
Hi, I'm Laura, by the way.
Oh, what's up, girl?
I don't feel like we've met recently because you ignore me and never come on any of my shows.
Wow.
Why? I don't know you. Why would I come on your shows?
Because it's like,
what's up?
Hi, good to see you.
Give me them digits.
Where the fuck you been? I've been like asking, like, Gabe, come on. You're like never available.
Stop. You ask me all the time.
I ask you all the time. You're like, sorry, not available.
Love it. No, Gabe is he's a busy man now. He's a busy man.
I miss you. I miss seeing you. I miss your rants. I miss just having like that genuine part of the show that was TiVo to a T. TiVo didn't give a shit about who he offended. He didn't care about like your feelings. He just wanted to talk and be honest and be genuine and have a conversation. And you always brought that in. So
well, that's why me and Tim got along, because we didn't care. It's not that saying that I don't care makes it seem like you're trying not to care, but it's just it's authentic. I think that's
the point. Genuine. Yeah. I'm gonna close the story.
The way I am here is the way I'm in public. If you guys ever decide to come down to Vegas, or Laura, I'm like, oh, you coming to Vegas Con? No, I don't want to go to Vegas. That place smells like hot dog water.
I was in
So-
New York. I couldn't
Whoa, shots
eat
fired.
hot dog water. I
Yeah.
actually
Yeah,
like
hot
the
dog
smell of
water.
hot dog water. I grew up on Boar's Head hot
Guys,
dog.
Yeah.
Anytime anybody references hot dog water, I think of Limp Bizkit. So chocolate starfish,
Yeah.
hot
Yeah,
dog
chocolate
flavored
starfish and
water.
hot dog water. It smells like belly button down there.
There you go. But there you go. Chris is back. He fixed his computer. What's up, Chris? Welcome.
Hey.
Officially welcome. I know I introduced you a few times throughout the show.
Sorry.
All right, so who's going first on the list tonight?
No, that's the other.
Oh,
Wait,
Wait, I still gotta
This
do
is like the green room before we go live.
It's just muscle memory at this point.
now I do.
Oh,
wanna-
Laura was here first, so she gets to choose who goes first.
well,
That's
here,
the rule.
if you want it to feel like Tuesdays here, I'll do this for you. Okay, look, there you go. Laura's in charge. There you go. So
Aw.
I'm
There
just
you
kidding,
go.
guys. I'm
God
just-
feels.
I'm
All
All right,
gonna
let's do
write
the top
today.
10 list of all variants. What do we got today? What's up number one?
But guys, it wouldn't feel right if we did this as just us, right? Like there's somebody missing a key part of this, and of course we're gonna invite Marty. What's up, Marty,
Oh, I
my
thought
brother?
it was
Hey, what's going on?
Marty,
What's up, Marty?
How we doing?
there you go.
Hi.
Yeah.
All
Marty,
right, now the party started.
there you
Now-
I'm so glad you're here. People were so mean to me last week, Marty. You would have been kicking all kinds of ass. People were
What's-
so mean.
What happened?
Oh, there was this thing with a book that we did. John Gallagher was our artist, and he turned in like this cover. We're like, oh, it's awesome, But then it
Yeah.
ended up being like taken from a toy box. People lost their shit. It was bad.
They did.
Yes,
I heard a little bit about it. I don't know the entire full story,
That's
but
basically it in a nutshell.
But I'm sure these are the same people who used AI to make themselves look like a toy and posted that, or who buy statues that just made off of a 3D printer.
yeah.
There's no,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
no
yeah.
sculpting no more. It's all done by computer, anyways.
They were so mean, you guys. It was
Well, first of all, before I even continue on, let me say thank you, chat. I'm looking at the comments right there. Love you guys. Thank you so much for your kindness. Really, I mean, it's just such good kindness right here. I feel right at home already, man. And this is the first time I'm in Canada. I feel like I'm in Canada, man.
Did I just bring in 4 Americans across the
Oh,
border?
you just smuggled us in, dude.
Yeah, man.
All right.
So
Marty, you
Good
gotta
stuff,
give
man.
it.
We gotta
You
go
gotta
fill
give
out
it.
some paperwork.
Now we're gonna get the blue Gatorade that doesn't give us cancer and make our testicles shrink.
yeah.
Marty, go. Hold on. Marty has to say it. He has to say what Love for Comics is commenting here. Come on.
What am I saying?
Greetings and
Oh, greetings and salutations, geeks and geekettes.
There you
Welcome to another
there we
Black
go.
Black Crown Comic Show. I guess
There you go.
right.
Love it.
This is the first Legends of the Long Box episode that we always keep.
This is
talking
the
about.
first legend. Oh yeah, so I'm liking it. I'm liking what do we have talking points? I mean, what's going on? Or
No,
shooting
that's
the
not
shit?
the point of Legends. The point of Legends is that we just bullshit and whatever comes up, it's a conversation. It's a 5-way conversation.
Well,
No
I'm
pants,
actually-
no
I'm-
pants party kind of thing.
yeah, exactly. Marty, be yourself, have fun. Guys, all of you. I do want to get into the hot topics. Now, there's some very interesting topics I want to talk about, most importantly being Fan Expo. So before we get into that, I got to ask you all, are you guys ready to get into the hot topics?
Yeah, what's the hot topics?
Oh,
Yes,
you're going to
sir.
find out. Marty, watch.
Ready.
All right, guys, we're gonna get into the hot topics. Like I told you, yes, Laura's in the hosting position. She's
No,
fine.
put me
She
on
is
top
not-
of you. Or wait, put me below you.
I am gonna clip
Laura's
that.
a good power bond.
Save that
This
forever.
is weird being on top. Put you on top.
That's what she said.
Laura,
Oh,
Laura.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not hosting. Like you go on top.
that's okay. Fair. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll leave
Oh,
it at-
man.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
On top, Lando.
Well,
I
you
remember
told
Hot
you,
Topic-
you told me to be myself, so I'm.
Yeah, no, you be you.
Be careful
There
what
we
you
go.
work
I
for,
like it
buddy.
on bottom.
I'm just not used to Laura talking like this. But anyway,
Now this is the totem pole of position of the hierarchy.
But all right, let's get into it, guys. We've got some topics I want to dive into. We'll go around the horn, man, and just talk about everything. Feel free, guys. No
Okay.
filter. Let's just do this all together. So, first and foremost, Gabe, I think you're pretty excited about this, but we've got the first crossover in years now between Marvel and DC. The first one being Deadpool and Batman. Yes. So in September, Marvel's going to be dropping the first issue where we're going to have Deadpool and Batman. And then on the DC side, coming out in November, we get Batman Deadpool. So this is exciting. I know this was, just news that dropped recently. Not entirely the two characters I thought we would be seeing crossing over here between the two, but very interesting nonetheless. Guys,
Yeah.
this is just the appetizer for when we get into the bigger topics. But regardless, I still think it's pretty big news. So Laura, let's go down the chain. What do you think about this?
I don't care.
No, at all.
Yes.
I really don't.
Yes. Let it go. Who
Sorry,
cares?
We're not
Tell
on Covered Price right now. This is like unfiltered. I don't
Go
give
ahead.
a shit.
Go
I'm
ahead.
not going to read it. I'm not going to pick it up. I'm not going to buy it. I have no interest.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So we'll leave it at that for Laura. Gabe, what's your thoughts?
All right. I got one question I need you to help me out with here real quick,
Yep.
Lando, or whomever.
Yeah, no problem.
I know who's writing Deadpool Batman. All right. Who's writing Batman Deadpool? Is it the same?
No,
The
so
art team is different.
It's two different issues. We're gonna have Grant Morrison over on DC with Dan Mora, but then after on the Marvel side, first on the Marvel side, we actually have Zeb Wells, who's gonna be with Capullo, if I'm not mistaken.
So no, is it Zeb Wells at Capullo, or is it Grant Morrison and Capullo?
No, it's Grant Morrison and Mora.
Oh, then they just split up the most.
For what? Batman Deadpool?
Yeah.
I don't care anymore now. I thought it was
you.
Grant Morrison.
I'm excited.
I thought it was Grant Morrison and Grant Capullo.
That would have made more sense.
I was hoping that was. I got catfish. I catfished myself on this. If anything, I'll get the Grant Morrison issue because I want to see what he does with Deadpool. Because for the longest time, Deadpool has been treated like Johnny Bravo or like a Looney Tunes character.
Fair.
For the longest time.
Yeah.
And I think Grant Morrison will bring him back to being that kind of villainous merc that's a little crazy and psycho and not, a cartoon character. But man, what a way to just split up the team. I was really hoping it was Greg Capullo and Grant Morrison. Either way, Dan Mora is great, but I'm going to get the Grant Morrison issue. Greg Capullo's awesome. He did that Wolverine book with Jonathan Hickman, and I think that was maybe like a second base hit. Like it wasn't perfect, it wasn't great, it wasn't that awesome. His art was a little lacking. I'm here for Grant Morrison. That's all it is. That's the only thing that dragged me into this and made me care was it was Grant Morrison.
You know what? I don't disagree with you because for myself, like, not that I don't like Zeb Wells. It's just like I'm tainted and stained from like the ASM run, and that's kind of left a bitter taste in my mouth when it comes to Zeb Wells. But I also understand the opposite side when it comes to Zeb Wells because writing Amazing Spider-Man is not easy, especially when your hands are tied in general when it comes to that character. No matter who writes Spider-Man, your hands are tied.
Well, Zeb Wells was also the writer that Feige forced or requested or suggested to kill Miss Marvel and turn her into a mutant.
Yeah.
We talked about this a while back.
Yeah.
Oh, did we? All right. So I think that kind of taints his reputation for me.
You guys have to stop saying taints.
Tainted.
Well, we all got one.
Taints.
Taint. It's taint. The
Taint.
goose,
Yeah.
Tainted.
the toad.
But all right. Chris, do you care for this? What's your thoughts?
I don't know. I'll probably grab it because
Yeah.
I'm looking at the one on the right, and there's a couple things there that are making me giggle. I mean, you got the Super Soaker on Deadpool's back.
Yep.
You can see on his belt there is a can of bat repellent.
Yeah.
That's clever. I'm curious about what's going on with all the angelic hosts behind Batman and Deadpool. Maybe they're fighting in heaven or something. I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know. I'm a sucker for Marvel and DC crossovers.
Same.
So I will read this. I'll probably pick up the couple of weird variant covers that I'm sure are going to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
I agree.
It's not a
Marty,
big deal. It doesn't hurt. Even if I did not care at all, like Laura stated,
Not at all.
it
Not even
doesn't
a little.
hurt anybody, right?
yeah, exactly. Marty, what's your take?
I'm picking these two up, and definitely I'm gonna absolutely read them. Whether I'll decide if I like them or not. But we don't get these crossovers very often, man.
No,
I mean,
dude,
you
it's
think
been
about
years.
it. You know, it's been years, and when you do look at the past crossovers, man, I mean, there's a certain niche collecting for this. But even if you're not into this type of collecting, I definitely recommend just even reading it and just to see where it goes on this. Especially just like Gabe was saying with Capullo and Grant on this, man, I'm sold, especially with that. So I'm definitely going to pick these two up. I'm definitely going to pre-order these bad boys and get this on in my collection. And hopefully the stories are good, regardless if the stories are good or bad. This is something I definitely would like me personally to have in my collection.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have fun with this and roll with it, man. It's gonna be a good time. So I'm looking forward to this. I do agree with Gabe, man. I think Morrison and Capullo together would have been absolutely insane.
That would have been the banger of the year, dude. That would have
Yeah, I
been
would
the
have been
banger
more
of the year.
interested if that was the case. Does nothing for me. This seems gimmicky.
Yeah.
Laura, let me ask you this.
Hmm.
Variant?
No.
You know there's going to be a billion variants for this thing.
I hope not. I hope not.
I hope not.
There is,
I
There
hope they
will
don't
be.
taint this really, because
Taint.
I don't know.
Do a variant,
let's not
Laura,
taint.
and just have it be Batman and Deadpool's taint.
Yeah,
Taint.
that's what I'll
Tainting.
giant variant would just be that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the word for this evening is taint. Stand by for our next word of the evening, coming to you live from the host, Lando.
Yeah, there you go. But anyway,
There's gonna be at least two variants. You're gonna see the original Batman cover from Detective with Deadpool in the Robin spot. Okay. You're also going to see the New Mutants first appearance of Deadpool with Batman in the Cable spot or Strife or whatever. That you're going to see
None of those characters are on that cover.
Oh well, shut up, 90s gamer.
Don't make a point. It's
Damn it.
annoying.
Have you guys ever watched the fan film with Batman and Predator? Man, this dude did an amazing job with that, man. It's an old Batman. He has a very basic costume, and then,
It was back in the 90s. It was early 2000s. That was not AI.
early 2000. He did a really good job for that period too, man. And I tell you what, I really enjoyed that fan film.
Dan said we need to move on. Next.
Yep. Chat's talking, so we're gonna listen to the chat. We'll move on from it, but yes, many great points. So I appreciate you guys. Now up next, something very minor, guys, but Marvel Studios is apparently going to be skipping San Diego Comic-Con this year and will not host a panel. I know this sounds shocking, but we were talking about this amongst ourselves within the chat.
Do not care.
Exactly.
all.
Exactly.
I don't care. They'll have other panels. They'll be hosting other events. This is just the main one in Hall H or whatever. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's not going to happen. Who cares?
Yeah, but
Don't care.
Laura, I was telling you guys, like, in my opinion, what do they need to say at San Diego Comic-Con anyways? Everything's already in process of filming. They've announced everything for the next like year and a half or so. So I don't see why they need to be there. So I'm not making anything of this, but I'm seeing a lot of people in the social media spaces saying, well, Marvel's dead. This and that is the end of Marvel. Come on.
No.
Well, it is kind of odd that they're not doing anything, and this is the week that Fantastic Four releases. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had like an off-site, like premiere or something cool like that. But them being in Hall H, who cares? Because
Who cares?
it's Disney. It's not Marvel anymore. It's Disney. They have their own convention. They have D23, which is that's their announcement platform is D23.
Amen.
They don't care about comic books anymore. Fantastic Four is not based on comic books. These movies aren't really based off of comic books anymore. So them not coming to San Diego isn't that much of a hit. And this is what I said in the chat, maybe this will thin out the herds of San Diego Comic-Con, make it less of a circus. I don't mind. I like being around 100,000 people. I think it's cool. but I know that it's frustrating for people, and I
Horrible.
know it's sensory overload for people and all that kind of stuff. But maybe this is the start of them pulling out of San Diego Comic-Con altogether, movies pulling out altogether, and maybe we'll get San Diego Comic-Con to be more comic book centric, or more, maybe just simmer down a little bit and make it easier to get back in and things like that.
Who knows, Gabe, man? Maybe DC hits the fucking, con with so much to bring, because I mean, Superman's also coming out just a few weeks before too, right?
Right.
So that's another thing to factor. So like I said, I don't think there's much for Marvel here. They've pretty much got everything already lined up. They're already filming, shooting. They're busy, man. So I don't see an issue. I do agree with Gabe's perspective. Marty, I don't know what you think about this.
Really, I'm very indifferent about this, just like Laura is. I mean, I really don't. Doesn't bother me. It's not that I don't care. It's interesting news. It's just like what Laura said. We've already got a lot of the announcements ahead of time, and what could they possibly release now that we really don't know, unless they show some clips or teasers or anything within that nature. But I mean, if Marvel's going to skip that, I'm sure they have a perfectly good reason why. But just like the panel member says, I don't think there's really a big deal in that. So
yeah, for sure, man. Chris.
So this is interesting, but I don't think it's because of the reasons that you guys have talked about so far. Do you know what E3 is? Lando, I know you know what E3 is, right?
Yeah.
Of course,
Okay.
video game.
You know what E3 is. Laura, E3 is the Entertainment Expo.
I know.
Mansplaining.
Jesus, I know.
I said E3. You had this confused look on your
That's-
face, like I don't know what E3. It's the video game thing. I don't know. anything.
Wow.
that should have gotten more like to me, Laura, because I don't know much about these video game
Chris,
releases.
Well,
Chris.
you know what, Laura? My apologies. All right.
This is the look, Chris. This is the look. There it is.
Laura. Hey, first of all, I'm very upset that people were messing with you last couple weeks ago, Laura, and I'm upset that these panos are messing with you tonight. So you got to knock it off right now, or I'm going to come through the screen and karate chop you guys.
You don't know. You stated the video game thing is. Okay, never mind.
I always look
I bet.
dumbfounded.
I bet.
This is my face.
I always look I have resting dumbfounded face.
My bad. I don't mean to geek explain. I'm sorry. All right. Listen, E3 kind of started to die, right? Back in the late 90s, early 2000s. You start seeing like major companies pull out of E3. There was a year that Nintendo pulled out of E3. There was a year that Sony did a closed area in D3 where you couldn't get in using the regular reports, right?
Yeah.
Do the regular passes. So I mean, it happened very slowly over time, right? You said one major presenter pull out, and then the next year was out, and then eventually it was all out. There was no more E3.
Yeah.
So I don't think San Diego Comic-Con is at risk of vanishing.
No.
But I'm wondering if this is kind of, you see everything in pendulums. I wonder if we're starting to see the pendulum swing back a little bit away from entertainment and more towards comics. And it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of years. But I think this is interesting to me because I think this could be a call sign of more entertainment focused names pulling out of these big Comic-Cons. I wonder if they think that it's just not worth it.
What do you
We'll see what
think?
2016.
I have to disagree with you on that, Chris, because no pun intended, man, but there's sort of a symbiotic relationship with these entertainment and comic books, whether we like it or not, man, because each of them drive off of each other. And so when we see that every week when we talk about on Tuesday shows of how much prices go up based on either news reports of what's coming out and trends and all of that, man. So I don't think we're going to see that very much. I think if anything, man, it's always going to be those factors in play that are going to drive up the market. And once again, it's that parallel between both entertainment and comic books that they're catching fans' attentions, man.
Yeah.
Especially this generation, because they do not have the patience to sit down and watch, long movies or read long comic books. It's the quick fix. What can they get out of it really quick? Fast entertainment, quick entertainment, and that's what we're seeing nowadays.
So, to your point, Marty, I get what you're saying. There's always going to be a connection. There's always going to be a tie. There's always going to be that relationship there, right? But by your own words, this generation that's coming up and spending money, the 18 to 25 demographic, short attention spans. They want to see things in smaller clips. They don't want to read books. They don't want to do those sorts of things. You're going to see entertainment expos continue on, but I think we might see a divergence away from Comic Cons. And San Diego Comic-Con might change their name to something else.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens, because let's see, because they're talking about just not hosting a panel. Doesn't mean they're not going to have a presence there.
Yeah.
The Marvel booth might be decked out with Fantastic Four, First Steps.
I'm sure it will be,
but for that,
what's
really going to count, what's really going to show up is what's 2026 going to look like, because that's Avengers Doomsday going into Secret Wars. That's I think this 1 year skip, it's kind of like that 1 year skip between high school and college kind of thing, where you go out and you go to Europe and you do a bunch of drugs and you get all the diseases and stuff like that. I think that's a little 1 year skip that we got going on here. We'll see what happens next year. See if they have a presence on the floor, things like that. That's going to be the kicker. This is just this one little bit, and I think everybody is, of course, the sky is falling kind of situation.
Well, I don't think the sky is falling. I'm just saying that
Not you.
this is exactly what I saw in '94 with E3.
Yeah. But all right, guys, let's move on from this. I don't want to overthink this. I think it's very simple, something small. People are getting a little out of pocket, a little crazy when it comes to this, but nothing to think. Now, what I do want to dive into, guys, I told you guys this is going to be the main topic. This is where I guess the gloves come off, if you want to put it in that saying. Laura, the bottle's empty, so we're good to go on this one. I just want to say a few things before we get into it. So, Fan Expo Dallas had over 600 variants available over the course of the weekend. Now, I'm showing you, Marty. Fuck, I love you, bro. I'm showing you guys this slide, but I'm going to remove it so you could see us as we're having this conversation, because Laura's gone through a few things within the week, and I know a lot of people feel a certain way when it comes to some of the exclusives and all of that jazz. And I'll give you a perfect example. When C2E2 came around, I thought that them hitting well over 300 exclusives was absolutely mind-blowing. I thought that was some crazy shit.
Hi. It's just me and you, dude.
It's me and you, bro.
It's me and you, man.
Everybody
No, I'm here, man. I'm here.
That's a refill. Sorry.
Everybody went for a piss break. But all this to say, guys, I'm going to dive into this with the crew. I want everybody to just shoot the shit. We're here for a discussion. Disclaimer to absolutely everybody who's here in the chat. Don't disrespect anybody who's on the panel. Don't respect anybody in the chat. Have the conversation as genuine people just who are here for the love of comics. Whether you agree, whether you disagree, let's keep it clean. But we will speak facts. We will speak truth. And we're going to have fun with this. All right? So don't get too crazy. But like I said, 600 plus variants were available this weekend, and we're going to dive into all of the variant conversation and all of that fun stuff.
Let's not get crazy with this, man, but let's get crazy.
One thing I will say, though.
You want to get crazy? Let's get crazy.
Whether you love this or whether you hate this, shout out to Cover Price for putting together this list, because putting together a list of 615 issues, dear Lord, they were working. That is for sure. Now,
I think them putting that list together is like one of the most fantastic things that they can offer, because I used to, when I used to go to San Diego Comic-Con, I was cleaning up my garage the other day, and I found the notebook I used to use to write down, like, oh, I'm going to pick up like this exclusive, that exclusive. I'm going to go see this panel. Like I would write my itinerary down.
Yeah.
And I wish to God it could have been just something I could just pull up on my phone. I didn't really have phones back then, but the idea that you could find all that information in one place is invaluable. Not to like suck off cover price and wash their balls, but that's a very, 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 very awesome thing that they do. That's the best thing that they do in regards to doing these kind of variant breakdowns. It's the coolest thing ever. Now, with that said, I want to know before we get into any of this talk, Laura, you're the only person on this panel with any real skin in the game. Not only with you guys having your own booth at the show, but also with the rotten vegetables and bullshit that's going your way with all the mouth breathers and basement dwellers over your cover. How did I don't say San Diego? We were just talking about San Diego. How did Dallas go for Anthony? How did that Darth Maul variant go for you guys? Because I know, if I'm right, it was buy 2 covers, get that one for free. Like you guys are in a lot of money for that book. So you were giving it away, not technically selling it, right? So how did all that go for you? I'm gonna know that first.
All right, let's do it.
Let's get into this.
Hey, she's the only one here whose life and livelihood is like I said, she's the one that has skin in the game. She's the one that knows how this works more than anybody else. Boots on the ground with Anthony. I just want to know how it goes before I get into how much variants are stupid and retarded and destroying the industry and stuff like that.
Wow. Okay, he just dropped all bombshells. Let's go.
Well, Gabe and I are friends, like really good friends, and
we're just a dysfunctional family, guys. It's okay.
we are.
Yeah. We all come from
here's the thing too.
We all come from different daddies.
Gabe actually, you used to work at was it Torpedo Comics, right? So you have a lot of knowledge with the ins and outs of the retail when it comes to comic books and Laura. Absolutely.
I traveled the country doing cons with Torpedo. I tabled at C2E2, I tabled at San Diego, I tabled at all these different cons. So I know how that works. But with the topic today and the real spotlight about Dallas is over 600 variants. Laura has has a handful of them on the floor. So again, I asked her this question like 10 minutes ago. How did that go for you guys?
Fantastic.
Yeah?
Fantastic. If
How so?
anything,
What does fantastic mean? Like, did you guys sell out?
Paint a picture for us, Laura.
So when he gets home, we'll have maybe 5 of each left. Maybe.
So all that bullshit nonsense about Darth Maul and it being a stolen photo, it still worked out.
Yeah, because if anything, I don't care if you guys hate me for this. If anything, the negative press actually pushed that book forward. Everybody talking so much shit made that book do better than it probably would have done if everybody had just kept quiet.
Even bad press is good press, right?
It was.
Bad press is good press. Laura, are you guys still going forward with that?
So we pulled the book from our official catalog because we didn't feel comfortable selling a book. And I'm transparent here.
Props to
Gallagher did not tell us what he did. We found out after the fact, and we don't support AI. We don't support pulling stuff that's not given to you with permission. We just don't. That's one of our main foundations as a company. We're transparent. So once we found out about it, we're like, well, shit, it's already been printed. If you guys know anything about printing books, it's a lot of money. And we're like, okay, what do we do here? Because we can't just take a bath on this. We're not going to burn all these books. So we decided, like, hey, how about this? They buy the other 2 covers, they get the Darth Maul for free. Yeah. And that's how we did it. So if you bought the other 2, you got the Darth Maul for free.
Yeah, Laura, what was the prices of the covers?
I don't know.
Okay. I was wondering, is it 25 each? So spend 50 and then you get the Darth Maul? Like, I was just curious how the economics work.
Just to put it into context, because there's some people who are not aware of what's going on and what's the situation. So Laura, Bird City, Anthony, these guys are working hard endlessly. And what ended up happening is John Gallagher ended up coming out with a cover for one of your exclusives, which ended up featuring a artwork that was previously used elsewhere. Minor changes that were made, and then you guys obviously printing that. But that did create a lot of backlash. People were going absolutely apeshit online, which is very unfortunate. To be honest with you, Laura, you know, rather than posting about it or whatever, first thing I did was talk to you. I came to you, and you know, I think that's the right way of doing things. You know, especially if you're friends. But besides that, that created a lot of outrage on online, on social media, etc. And you guys did the right thing. I think you guys did more than the right thing by pulling it off, and now you guys are including that as a freebie if they order the other two covers, which is, you know, it's cool. You know what I mean? Some people might think of this as, hey, this was a piece of history within comic collecting, and all of this is jazz because look what ended up happening. I guess, you know, that's a way of looking at it. But regardless, I think people don't factor the incident and how it played out. You guys lost money. It was very unfortunate. You know, some people might feel like, yeah, well, you know, you guys should do your homework type thing. Well, dude, you know, there's so much stuff out there that, like,
Oh my god, yeah.
Was
that really a comment?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I watched a specific show, you know, Brian McClay, and there were, you know, exchanges going back and forth. And shout out to Brian, by the way, because I think Brian did a great job on that show himself.
Yeah, it was that Dennis guy on that show being a complete dick to Anthony.
That's a whole other story. But when it comes to Anthony, Brian, and everybody else, everybody was very classy. I think everybody did a great job, but unfortunately, it did create an uproar. We're going to talk about that now, but we'll put it to rest because, of course, the main topic is definitely Fan Expo, but it still took place. You know, Laura's.
If I could say, I think that was, you know, whoever. I get it. I get it. You know, some people got up in a roar about it, got their panties in a bunch, if you will. But at the end of the day, man, you just, what, like you said, Lana, you can't, you can't see everything, man. You know, and as much as, you know, you try to stay on top of things are going to slip by, especially when you guys are juggling so much right now, Laura. You know, something's going to drop. You know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of. I think it's kind of fucked up. Personally, it's a dick move to, you know, to say something like that to them, like, oh, you know, you guys should have done your homework. No, man.
No, for sure. But I will say, you know, I did speak to Laura and I said, you know, although that did take place, I have bigger concerns when it comes to the hobby, when it comes to covers and things like that. Like, I don't know, like for me, that's kind of like, oops, you know what I mean? Some shit happened. You guys owned up to it. There's absolutely no reason to even fucking continue to beat the dead horse.
Right.
But everything that you guys did, you held your own, and I
Laura, don't even worry about that crap.
Yeah,
let that shit go.
They sold out. What's there to be worried about? But what I was trying to get at is that Laura also told us that there was another booth there that had like 30 variants, some outrageous, ridiculous number of variants, and there was a line around her table all day long.
There's a demand, whether you like it or not. There's a demand for these things, and yes, we did fire Gallagher from future work, and we had multiple projects lined up with him, which is unfortunate because, for the record, Gallagher is actually quite talented. So I'm not sure why he did this.
Yeah,
he just, we don't even know. But we found out, we did what we needed to do. But the backlash from it was just, I'll say it on the show. If you guys are familiar, there was a post that went up kind of calling this whole situation out, which, okay, fine. Anthony and I saw it in the morning. We were like, oh shit, like, what are we going to do here? And, you know, like we contacted John. He apologized. He felt really bad that we were kind of the collateral damage. However, we'll own up to the part that we should have required a sketch. That's what this comes down to. I should have said I want a sketch first, which we didn't. That's on us. Fine. But people were messaging my kids. They were messaging my 17-year-old daughter. They were messaging my 15-year-old son. And that's when it crosses a line for me. It's like, no, that's not okay. This community doesn't have the permission to contact my kids.
And guys, I just want to put it out there, okay? At the end of the day, you know, yes, we all do YouTube. I don't care who you are. You could be one of the more bigger platforms, etc. There's such a small amount of people that actually give a fuck about what we really have to say on YouTube, and that's the reality, guys. Whether we want to admit it or not, I could walk into a shop. Nobody knows who the fuck I am. I could walk into a con. Nobody knows who the fuck I am. I ain't anybody. I ain't anybody but Lando buying comics. That's exactly who I am. And at the end of the day, guys, yes, I appreciate
I
everybody.
know who you are, Lando. If
Thank
I
you.
saw
I
you
know
walk
too.
into a
I would
con, I'd be
recognize
like,
you.
"Oh, it's Lando. That's
Yeah.
Background
Stop.
Comics, man."
Stuff. But all this to say is that, you know, yes, I appreciate everybody who tunes in. I appreciate everybody who does support. I like to think that this channel itself is growing organically in a way where I'm not trying to cheat my way to getting subscribers, paying for it, or whatever the fuck it may be. I just want people who are ready to talk comics and just come and hang out. That's exactly what I stand for. I don't care about the rest of the jazz, whether it be drama or all the other shit. But when it comes to things like this, man, the few of us that are actually on platforms, social media, and then reaching out to people's kids and things like that is just a whole nother level of messed up. And I think that is where we cross the line. So
Laura, in my opinion, Bird City, you and Ant are the only ones in this situation that acted with integrity. Okay, the artist was not truthful about their work. They did not do the work that you paid them for. Okay.
We were not reimbursed, by the way, which you think would be the first reaction, right? Oh, I'm going to give you your money back. No.
This is not on you. As a matter of fact, Bird City went out of their way to pull the covers that were already invested in. Money's already out of the pocket. And you guys gave away the book for free because there was still a demand for it. And yeah, it was, a toss-in when you buy something, but it doesn't matter. You guys you went above and beyond to do the right thing.
exactly.
This is a problem that an artist had. This never, ever should have came back on Bird City. As a matter of fact, Bird City is the only legitimate victim besides the other person's art. You guys are the only legitimate victim who put money out and are being affected by this. So
let me change the topic here.
Hold on, Gabe. I gotta say this. If you are out there and you're doing this thing where you're calling publishers kids or stores kids and stuff like that, shame on you. Shame on you. Go find a different hobby. Go do baseball cards instead, because your toxic ass is not wanted here.
Perfect. So let me change the topic. Okay, that whole situation was last week. Let's talk about current. Laura sold out. Everybody who had a fake raid is dumb. Okay, so let's get on the topic of 600 variants. Laura said there's a line around other booths. There's still a demand for 600 stupid variants. I think we are getting to that crescendo point. Same thing that happened in the 90s. Is getting to the point where at 600 variants, something is going to burst. I don't know if San Diego is going to be 1,000 variants, if it's going to be 1,200 variants. This type of continual escalation in the number of variants, like C2E2 was 300, and we thought that was dumb. Now this is 600, and it still is profitable for companies, and there's still a demand for it. It's just going to encourage people to keep doing it. It's going to be 1,200 at San Diego. It's going to be 2,000. There's going to come a breaking point very, very soon. I feel it. This is just my opinion. There's going to be a point where something's going to have to give. This community and this hobby can't carry that kind of weight on variants for very long. But with it being a success at Dallas is very interesting, and that's what I want to know what you guys think about. Like, are we at that point yet, Lando? Do you think that we're eventually going to skin our knees and this is going to be a burst?
Gabe.
Something's going to happen to the variant industry. I think it's going to change, not go away, but the crazy exclusives. Every store, every mama store, every baby mama is getting their own variant. That's going to have to slim down sooner or later because prices are going down on these variants. They're not $40 anymore. They're $15, $20, $25. 1 in 50s in stores nobody cares about, because why am I going to get the 1 in 50? That's just a Virgin when I could just get the regular cover. It's the same exact image,
Yeah.
but have the trade dress. There is a price dynamic going on with these variants
So
all across the board. And that's a sign. And I'm the guy that loves 90s comics. I'm the guy that studies history of comics because I'm a complete loser. But I see the trend. You know, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does have a rhythm. It does have a repeat to it.
yes,
And we are getting to that point. This is all the
I'm gonna
same.
refill.
This is all the same stuff that we've seen before in the comic book industry with the 90s speculator boom. All right.
I think it's
Marvel being bought out by a different company. Distributor war is happening. Distributors falling apart. New distributors coming up. Speculations going into the hobby. Speculators leaving the hobby. We're going to see it again sooner or later because there is no way possible that people just buying art for art is going to sustain this industry forever.
so Gabe, there's a few. You brought up so many points I want to dive into, but I'm like losing track as you.
Sorry, here we go. Me just throwing out bullet points. I get
But-
it.
But no, but it's all great points. Now, there's a few things though when it does come to the exclusive thing. Yes, Fan Expo had a significant amount, 615 exclusives that were available.
And half of those were from one company, right? Wasn't it Tidal Wave or
Yes, absolutely,
Butt
absolutely.
Sniffer something that had like 300
Yeah.
of those variants?
Yeah, it's funny because you mentioned the ratio thing, and those that did print books that are, actual comic books, they also get the ratios as well, right?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Laura can confirm that, but it's pretty common knowledge. Now, I know Tidal Wave gets a lot of heat for some of the stuff that they're doing, but at the end of the day, guys, there are other publishers doing some things as well. Like example, I saw The Boys being reprinted with a new variant, right? Like it's the same thing. So I don't think we should just drop heat in one direction, guys. I think when you look at the exclusive game, man, it gets very touchy, and there's so many points we could touch on. But what I do want to say is Laura dropped a message in our chat, and it's very evident. Comic Aussie in this chat actually dropped one of the most realistic things that could be said, and it's so simple, guys. If I could find it, I would pull it up, but I think I lost it somewhere. But it's as simple as this, guys. If it sells, it's going to keep happening.
There's a demand. If there's a demand, it's going to sell and it's going to keep going until the market decides otherwise.
Exactly.
This is the game we're playing.
This is the same path that we've been on before. I get it.
I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same.
But
why?
So there's a couple differences. Right? If you look at the report from Cover Price, right? There's a couple things I just want to address. 600 is a lot, no doubt. If you look at the report from Cover Price, though, a lot of it is like 5 or 6 or 7 like variations of the same cover. Sometimes it's a metal cover, sometimes it's a leatherized matte cover, sometimes it's a glossy cover, sometimes it's a full cover, but it's the same, right? So it depends on like, okay, well, if each of these are like 5 different versions, then is it really 600 different variants? It's probably, I mean, do you consider a different material that the item is printed on to be
the title versus the
right? Even the title and the art, right? Okay, so here, look,
it's 600 SKU numbers basically, right?
So
whether it's the same thing with a different image, with
But-
one kitty hanging out, or the bikini is blue, it's a different SKU, right?
You guys know that I love Converse. I'm a big Converse guy. I don't buy a lot of Do You Poo books, but I got these, right? Because they're Converse. It's a shoe one. It's a metal cover, a textured cover, and the regular cover. And I mean, it's the same art, and they're different prices, but it's all kind of the same book. I don't think that these count as separate variants, right? It just depends on the kind that you like. And I never would have gotten these if I wasn't, really big into Chucks. But that's just one of my things, right? So that's the first thing. The second part, Gabe, is that in the 90s, we were seeing print runs that were insane. I mean, Spawn had 1 million, right? Per run of 1 million.
Sold 1 million, right?
The X-Men #1 Jim Lee 5 different
9
covers.
million. 9 million.
Yeah, 9 million printing. Okay, if you're looking at 20 different variants for the same book, and each one of them there's only like 50 made, or some of them even less, right? Like this is an AP6, an artist proof 6, and they only had 10 of these in this particular format. So I mean, you're looking at probably overall print runs that are less than 1,000. Especially those tidal wave books. Those tidal wave books, some of them there's like a dozen in existence.
Okay. So is a newsstand a variant?
Well, okay, hold on. We go through that over on cover price, right? When we talk about the newsstands, we also talk about example of the scarcity as the years go by, as we get closer to the 2000s.
Well, no, I know. What I'm saying is, you got a regular direct cover.
Yes,
Is a newsstand a variant? Is a Australian price a variant? Is a Canadian cover a variant? Is a Mark Jeweler it's considered a variant? I'm just going with what Chris was saying earlier about the shoe covers all being one variant, but I see it as 3 different variants because
correct.
I
see them as variants for sure. Like when you're looking,
and then with the print run. Sure, it might be 50 or 100 copies or whatever, but and like you mentioned, Spawn, X-Men, that stuff like that having high print runs. But with these variants, it's every single issue has 100 variants. Whether it's only 10 printed or 1,000 printed, it's every single issue of every single title. Add that up. It's probably millions and millions. It's not close. It's not apples and oranges, but it's getting to that point. The point is, and you made the right point, Chris, it's a saturation point, one way or the other. Also, 1 million, sure, but we had an industry that can handle that back then. 10,000 comic book stores. So now, with what we have today, with a much, reduced
Hold on.
It's still about trying to target the audience, though. I mean, look at the Labubu Fame variant covers.
Yes.
Right? Those things are selling for hundreds of dollars on the aftermarket, and they were just on sale this weekend for $15 to $20 a cover at the Fame booth. And there's not that many of them that were released, but it's all about finding that audience that wants that version of that book.
Correct. Now, guys, just because the conversation is going completely wide now, we're going a little bit off the rails, but it's all great points when it comes to variants. Because Gabe, I agree with you. I do consider all those variants, right? Because you do come across newsstands, etc., that are more scarce, and these foreign variants, Canadian price variants. Because yes, Canada, what's up? But I do want to focus solely now on the Fan Expo stuff very quickly, because there's multiple things that took place, guys. I do think that the variant game is getting a little bit messy and a little bit out of hand when it comes to certain things. Example, there's Fan Expo that took place this weekend. Now, there are books that came out over the weekend that don't even make it to the con floor, instead are being sold on platforms. And that is a whole other ball game as well, right? These are things that need to be considered. We have these conversations between us, but I wonder if people are even talking about that. Like 615 variants, but we're not seeing all of them on the con floor, right, Laura? Like we were talking about this.
So Matt talked with the organizers of these cons. They don't give a shit. They just want people in the doors. They don't care. They're not going to go regulate who's going to be like, oh, this is the con variant. This isn't. They don't care. Their job is to provide a safe space for people to walk in, pay money, and buy. That's it. So, like, Gabe, in the past, you've mentioned, like, why aren't these cons calling out people and going, hey, you can't use our logo on this. You can't do this if you're not actually at the con. They don't care.
Nope.
We care more than they care.
But, it's still the idea, and this is the topic. Is it a Dallas Con? Is it a Dallas Con variant if you're not tabling at the con?
It is if people are willing to pay for it.
Bingo. So, Gabe,
that's crazy town to me. Crazy town, because, like you said, Laura, they don't care. They just there to provide an empty space that people can come in and set up tables and people can come in. But
Yeah.
my idea with it is, if you're saying, hey, I have this Dallas Con comic variant, that is supposed to get the idea of getting more people into the con to buy it. But that's not happening, but no one cares. So,
Yeah,
but that was
nobody
my
cares.
idea behind the whole thing, is the idea of saying, here's a con, or here's a variant, an item, an exclusive, whatever, that you can only get at Dallas Con, is the idea that will bring more people to the con to pick up that item. But that's not happening. And that's my idea of, like, well, then why would you call it a Dallas Con or variant if you're not within the building?
You know how it always bothers you when Marvel does like a virgin as the ratio?
That's me.
It's the same concept. Marvel doesn't care. They
Sure.
don't care if it affects the aftermarket. They don't care. Like, the level that collectors care is so different than the level that these publishers and
Right.
con creators and these big they don't care the way we
And that's why it's good to have you here, because you come from one side of the coin than we do.
But
Right?
Gabe,
Where
I'm
it's
gonna
like, no one cares, but there's the idea of it. No one might not care, but it still doesn't make sense to somebody like me, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the Dallas Con and pick up this cool
I
variant.
actually agree
Oh,
with
they're
you
not
too.
here.
Like, Anthony and I don't do con exclusives if we're not able to
Right.
sell the book at a booth. If we don't do that, we just personally don't feel like that fits. But we could if we
Sure.
wanted to.
Anybody could. We all
Yeah.
could just do it and sell it on Whatnot or on a
We
website or
could.
Instagram
Honestly,
or
there's
whatever
nothing
kind of
stopping
nonsense.
We
Which
released
is what's really
thing.
kind of
the con was happening.
cheapening the idea of variants.
Marty, say something. You haven't said a word.
This, I see both sides, and I wanted you guys to go ahead and have your say, because it's very interesting. I see both sides of the coin on this, but as a
Yeah.
collector, I find it very overwhelming, because I do, as a collector, I am, when I first heard it was announced that 500 variants initially, and then
Yeah.
600 variants after that plus. It becomes just so overwhelming. I don't even want to look at what the list is, because I to me as a collector, I'm not going to go through all of that, and to find out that a lot of these variants are not going to be on the floor, that really cheapens the whole aspect of looking for a variant that you enjoy and you like. It's oversaturated. Me personally, I believe, and it's just overwhelming as a collector.
Absolutely. Dude. Marty, sorry to cut you, but what I was gonna say is, like, I put myself in the shoes of a retailer, as somebody who's gonna drop an exclusive, or whether you're whoever you are, whether it's somebody who's a YouTuber or whatever it is that you're dropping an exclusive. You look around, man, and you see 650 exclusives. Laura, let's take Laura as a prime example. You got Bird City Comics, who's gotten their ball rolling via exclusives. You know what I mean? Like, this is really what took you guys to another level. And now you look at such an oversaturated market, in my opinion, especially when it comes to con exclusives. And I agree with you, Marty. Like, it is overwhelming as a collector. If I were to go to a con, like, forget about filling, like Chris was saying in our chat, 4 long boxes technically of exclusives if you bought one of each. But you want to, as a retailer, imagine having to compete with that. Imagine having to, like, you're 615. Yeah, it's 615 exclusives, bro. We gotta fucking kick some serious ass if that's the case. We can't fuck around, because you got 615 that are going out there. And I recently bought I think it was San Diego. Was it? No, what was it? It was C2E2. Matthew Waite. He did a Fame book with Tidal Wave, and it was a Akira homage with Super Mario on it. Of course, it's gonna cater to me. That's something that I'm stupid enough to buy, but it's not. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? There's always gonna be something for everybody. But as a retailer, it is something that gets a little intimidating, because now you look at this and you see 615 exclusives. How would you feel as a retailer? I think it would suck.
It's daunting. It's daunting, and like Anthony and I lose sleep over it. But here's one other thing, Gabe, that I wanted to talk to you about. So back when there were only like 50, fine. But there's social media now. So you have these artists that are promoting on their own platforms which is reaching thousands of people, and you have publishers that are promoting on their platforms, which are reaching thousands of people. The net's so much wider now that the buying market's expanded as well.
Yep.
So if we went back to when there was only like 50 con exclusives, they would be sold out within 25 seconds and everybody would be pissed. You know, it'd be done because the net's so much bigger. And I think it's social media, it's Whatnot, it's eBay Live, it's all these other alternative ways to sell these books and give you access to a market that wants them. Until they don't want them, we'll keep making them.
Yeah, no, I get that. No, I mean, that's another analog to what happened in the 90s, where it was what sells. Let's keep going there and doing what sells. And not this isn't towards you, but this is towards the industry and the publishers. Let's turn our focus and our back away from the heart of comic books and the heart of that being like storytelling, good art in the interiors, something that's going to make people want to buy the next issue and the next issue and the next issue. What I'm also like curious about is how not only is the trend of variants changing, but the theme of variants. Right now, everybody's doing Akira homages. Now everybody's doing Mario, whatever. Right? There seems to be like an echo effect. One book hits off that does like an Akira with Absolute Batman, and there's this echo where everybody's doing Akira because Akira is sold. Akira is sold. Video game coverage. You guys at Bird City did that 8 Billion Genies with the Mario 3 cover, and then you started seeing everybody kind of pop off and do that. What if it turns into a situation where the theme that everybody's buying, that everybody's spending money on, that's carrying the variant industry is a theme that you guys don't want to get into? Like, let's just say, for instance, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I see a lot of titty books.
Yes.
And then what if it turns into like, well, if we're not doing titty books, we're losing out on customer base and what people want and stuff like that. Do you think that there is a point where you might hit a trajectory or a theme or something with the variants that you guys are putting out? We're like, no, we can't do titty books because we got young kids and we're just not into doing tits and stuff like that. But that's where the spotlight is. Am I making sense? Is that am I bringing that up right? Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I told you guys this in the private chat. We have to adapt to the market or we die.
Right.
Correct.
There's so many competitors. If we don't change with the market, if we don't do what's being bought, we will die. We won't be able to support our store. We won't be able to support buying all this backstock of silver and gold that you guys all love. If we can't support our business, the business dies. So whatever's supporting the business, we'll do it. That's what it comes down to.
All right. I get it. That works. I was just curious because it's like, you know,
I don't love it's my favorite thing. We have done them though, and I mean, Sveta did one for us. We had Tony Trophy do it, and those books did fantastic. By the way,
exactly, Laura. We just spoke about it on the aftermarket. Like it's sold for like what, $350. But just want to say a few things before we continue to dive into that, because Cover Price was in the chat, and I agree. You know, they were mentioning their list, and no, they're not telling you what to buy, guys. Like it's just directly helping you out to figure out what's on the floor, etc. And they do a wonderful job at that. And we just spoke at the beginning of this segment how, you know, they deserve a shout out. So shout out to them. But besides that, you know, speaking the actual variants and everything that's going on, Laura, you hit the nail on the head when you said, you know, it's either we adapt or we die. And it is really that.
It's really how it feels.
You know, Gabe, realistically, whether we want to admit it or not, titty covers are doing well.
I get it. I'm sure they do, you know, but like
pretty good.
You know, that's a certain area that I would think some people don't want to get into.
No, for sure.
As a company or whatever, you know, like that can be, you know, a red line for a lot of people. And I can imagine somebody having that red line, and just like Laura said, if we don't do it, it's dinosaur for us, right? It's like, you know, we don't do it and we don't adapt, then we die.
For sure. Now,
because that happened during COVID. I saw that happen a lot in COVID.
Oh yeah.
Where nobody wanted to, a lot of stores didn't want to do live sales. They don't know how to do it. They weren't willing to do it. They didn't want to do like shipping. and they crushed and they fell down and they closed shop. I saw that happen a lot. Same idea with this. You have to adapt. I get it. I get it.
Exactly.
And I'm just curious on what it's going to look like when soon. I bet when that bursts and it's then you have to adapt one way or another again, and that's going to be curious for me.
Guys,
Anthony is like, he's brave enough to risk it all.
Mhm.
He's humble enough to know that we can lose it all, but he's confident enough to know that we will get it all back if we do.
Okay.
And that's the mindset you have to have. It's a weird mindset, but that's the reality if you're a retailer. Now, again, this is me talking as Bird City.
Yeah.
Laura, I don't like titty books. It's not my thing.
don't lie.
Laura, I don't want a ton of variants at the cons. That's not my thing either. I'm more with you on that. But there's two different approaches here, and there's the business, and then there's the personal.
Exactly. And Laura, I respect you for putting both perspectives on the table because, yes, as a business, you need to think one way. What we think as collectors, guys, it's a totally different thing. Now, I know a lot of people get upset. Example, look, I'm going to use Tidal Wave as an example because it seems to be the hot topic every single week, right? It seems that people have a lot of hate. Now, personally, do I care for it? No, I don't. I just said I bought that Mario book, not even knowing it was a Tidal Wave book. I just like the cover. But there are people out there who are not hardcore collectors like all of us here, and Hugh in the chat, you catching the replay. We all are hardcore collectors, and maybe we don't really appreciate such things where it's not entirely a comic book, it's actually just a fucking stupid biography or whatever, and you think that way, right? It pisses you off. But in reality, guys, we shit on, let's say, Tidal Wave, and we'll say like, yeah, but you know what? Maybe they're bypassing the system and they're able to drop IPs because they're dropping a magazine, an art book, or a biography, or whatever it is. But there's other publishers doing the same thing, guys. There are, and whether we want to admit it or not, like I just said, The Boys is now hitting more exclusives at every con that we see. Like whether it's San Diego Comic-Con, Fan Expo, or whatever, it's happening. It's happening.
Nobody cares about the book inside. It could be just be blank pages.
That's
could be blank pages, and that's I would not be surprised if that comes up next. I don't get. It's odd to me that it's just. People aren't just selling these as prints and prints and prints and prints. Why is it a comic book, right? Like, why buy the comic book if the insides don't matter? It could be just blank pages, and you can call it Hulk 181 reprint with the cool cover on the front, right? And be just blank pages. I mean, that happened, right? Didn't Bad Idea just do straight up acetate covers and acetate pages and see-through comics?
Bro, they fucking
right?
Gabe, they came out with slabs with no books in them, and so this is my point, guys. Is yes,
it's just not sustainable, man. I'm waiting, and I know it's going to happen when we go back to good storytelling, and that's what's going to drive the comic book industry and the collectors.
And it's getting there, Gabe. It's getting there because a lot of books that have spiked on the aftermarket, that we're seeing the top 10s and stuff like that, especially over on Cover Price, we're seeing a lot of things related to either people that love covers or people that just really genuinely enjoy the reads. Exquisite Corpses is a good example. Doom, that hit the top 10, was a prime example.
Ultimate Wars is really good. Transformers is really good.
Exactly.
We got Imperial coming out. We got Deadpool, Batman. Yeah,
could go on forever. But I'm not here to defend the Tidal Wave. I genuinely, as much as I love Laura to death and would go to war for her, but at the end of the day, I am a collector and I don't care. I'm not here to defend anybody, not any company, distributor, or anything. But it is the reality, guys. As much as it's easy to point the finger in one direction because, yes, there are 200 or 300 exclusives coming out by them. Sure, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's still happening on other sides as well, man. I've seen people who are fucking crying wolf also do their own exclusives. So shut the fuck up. That's the way I see it. So,
I'm mad about this AI cover, but I'm going to go buy it at Dallas.
Exactly. But my point being is, I think at the end of the day, the most cliche saying that could be said at all times when it comes to collecting of collect what you like, it really comes down to that, guys. I'm seeing so much hate online, whether people are in agreement or disagreements when it comes to exclusives. Guys, I turn a fucking blind eye to it. I don't even give a shit. I'm going to be honest with you. I collect whatever the fuck I like. And that is the most cliche thing.
I might not like variants, but I'm not like anti-variant. I just don't buy them. I bought one or two here or there, but I'm not that variant guy that's like waiting for the drop on every website or on every Instagram page. I never even heard about Tidal Wave until this whole thing with Bird City happened. I go, Tidal Wave. And then I started hearing about, they do biographies. I'm like, oh, that's dumb. But You know, it doesn't matter to me. I never would have bought it anyway. So it's not that they lost the customer or anything like that. I'm not that guy. I'm that guy that looks for. I'm missing these 3 issues in my run. I gotta hunt I'm gonna go dig.
You're a different type of collector, and that's okay.
You're
There's
not-
so many
you're not the
kinds
target.
now.
That's who I am, and that's
Not
that's
the
good
market.
because I'm different than how Chris collects, than how Marty collects, than Laura. Whatever the case is,
Yeah,
we all
for
have
sure.
different perspectives.
None
And
of
that's
us look
what
the
it's all
same.
about. We're not the same. That's fine, and that's the good thing. I would hate to be here and only talk to people all day long about, oh man, I really need that Hulk 184 because
You would love it, Gabe. You
I
would
haven't-
love it.
I would.
You would love
It's good to have counter. It's good to have counter opinions and have these types of discussions with people. Like that's what makes this interesting whatsoever. You know.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's one thing that we can all agree on, though. It's not a con exclusive. It's not at the con. It's con.
I do agree with that.
Yeah, I don't care what anybody says. Dallas might be okay with it, whatever, but it's not a con exclusive.
It's not a con exclusive if it's not exclusive to the con. And you know what? It goes beyond Dallas. Who was the person who released their New York Comic Con exclusive on their website just like a month later?
Every other retailer.
Well, we do
Right.
it before. We always
Hey,
do pick sales.
But it's like,
you know, just to put my 2 cents in real quick.
Yes, let's hear Marty, guys. Let's hear
Yeah,
Marty.
Marty,
hold on. I need to clarify though.
Go ahead.
I'm not talking about selling leftovers. Okay, there's a
Oh.
difference. I'm talking about printing more. That was an exclusive. You know, like, oh hey,
I be printing more after the fact. Does that
well,
happen?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. There was an artist that did it. I forget the guy's name, but
Well, here, I'll give you a prime example, Chris. I was talking about this last week, man. I know John Tyler Christopher, who I love, guys. I don't hate him one bit, but example, we had the C2E2 exclusive with Mary Jane in the bathing suit, and now
Yeah.
available on his website June 5th. So that kind of throws a curveball for those who made it out to the con for that. You know what I mean? Or waited in line to pick it up when in reality could have just picked it up June 5th online. So kind of takes away, you know what I mean? It kind of sucks when people do that. There's a lot more shady shit that goes on when it comes to exclusives and cons and this and
Yeah.
that. Like we could go on forever, but just to summarize in short, I think my bigger concern as opposed to tidal wave and everything else is mostly the fact that most publishers are getting away with the fact of being able to print IP fucking properties without any repercussion. That is kind of mind-boggling to me. But
Nobody
that's
cares.
me. That's me. I don't know how everyone else feels, but that's a whole other conversation.
And again, we're not here like, you know, it's not like you're anti that and you got pitchforks and, you know, and a torch trying to beat it down or stop it from happening. Same with me. I'm not trying to stop anything from happening. I just don't buy it. That's how little I care. Is I don't buy it. I still have my same buying habits. And there's plenty of stuff out there for me. And I might go to a con and be, oh man, that sucks that there's so many variant dealers here. I wish there was more back issue dealers. But you know, that's the same as somebody goes to like San Diego or any other con. Oh man, there's not enough stuff here. It's not comics. It's just pops and movie stars kind of stuff, right? It's just that's
Marty,
what
what
people are
were you
leaning
gonna say?
into. That's what people want. That's
Yeah.
great. Party your heart out. I'm gonna be that guy that's looking for those issues in my life.
See, I'm exactly in the middle of both of you guys because I collect just like Gabe, you know, as far as
Mhm.
like old silver, bronze, you know, all that. But
No, that's
but I
stuff gross.
also-
There's only 90 stuff. What are you talking about?
yeah, but I also love variants as well because you know, as far as variants, you know, you're collecting for the cover. You're not collecting for the books. We know that. It's strictly the cover, regardless if it's a con exclusive or any type of exclusive. You know, so if I see a very nice Red Sonja cover, for example, and I'm like, oh, and it's one of my favorite artists or really up and coming artists or just an artist I like, I'm gonna snatch it up, you know. So I'm on both sides of the spectrum on this, and just to echo what was shown earlier, you know, collect what you love. I mean, collect what you like, collect what you love, regardless. You know, everybody has their opinions on this, and to me, I could see both ends.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, your wallet or your purse book is going to be the loudest voice.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? I think Cover Price summarizes it perfectly, man. It's something you need to keep in mind is that today's conflict by market are budget conscious. They're walking into a convention and spending a couple $100 and spreading that across exclusives. And it is true, guys. It is something that I've seen many times. Look, you have 615 exclusives that are available there. No, you're not going to pick them all up. You'll pick up what you like, whatever you physically are willing to wait the line for and pay the money for and pick up that book for. That was a you decision. That is something that you happily did. I personally am not that type of person that does go for exclusives. That's just me. Laura, I'm not saying this because you're on the panel. I know, as much as I love you as a friend, I'm not fucking sugarcoating it, but it is true. I do enjoy majority of the Bird City exclusives. I tell you all the time, man, if I lived in Canada, you guys would be fucking stealing my money. But sorry, if I lived in the States. But my point being is, when you look at what's happening within conventions right now, you're seeing the net get bigger. I think, on a retailer perspective, as somebody who would be selling cons, somebody as like Bird City, it is a big fight right now. I think right now it is like probably the most difficult it's ever been. Shout out to you guys, because now I know you opened up your own shop where you're selling new comics, back inventory and stuff like that.
That was Gabe in my shoulder.
I told you that because when this variant thing goes away, back issues will always be forever. Back issue will always be, even if it's back issue variants. Today's comic is tomorrow's back issue, right? So and I'm not like I said, I'm not anti-variant. I even helped do a cover for Bird City. Like I gave them an idea.
One of our best, by the way, that sold out like no other.
Which one was that again? Which one was it again?
It was the Ariel Diaz Battle Chasers cover.
It was a Red Monica homage. He's like, Laura, they're gonna bring this back because it had been gone for so long. He's like, do an homage to Joe Mad, and we did. It did really well.
One thing I love about exclusives in general is I look past the entire bullshit that kind of surrounds everything that's going on right now. I was just talking earlier in the show to Laura about how, thanks to Bird City, I kind of discovered Sveta Shubina. And because of that, like those are the types of exclusives I like. I like coming across artists who I've never seen before and learning about their exclusives and seeing some new artwork that I enjoy. Some people like the digital shit. Some people like the old school pen and paper, and that it's as simple as that. But whatever it is, I keep coming back to this. No matter what the conversation is, it does come down to collecting what you like. Kind of what Cover Price was saying. People are walking into conventions, spreading their money across the board, however they please. They're going to spend a couple
ecosystem, right? It's an ecosystem. Everybody...
Guys, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I walk into conventions and I'm seeing more fucking Funko Pops than I am comics and cosplay shit.
That's so true. The last one had so many.
That's more concerning than what's happening with the books. So at the end of the day, I don't know, man. I just kind of feel like there's a lot of hate happening right now amongst people and people calling each other out for nonsense, etc. Laura, I'm going to circle back to the thing that happened with John Gallagher. As shitty as that was, I think you guys held your own men and you did the right thing. So whether people love it or hate it or not, I saw people coming into my chat even last week when it was made a topic. People were ready with their pitchforks, man. I didn't even know who these people were. I know who my regulars
It was bad, Lando. Last week was bad. Like I told you when we first got on, I was this close to just being like, I don't want to be on shows anymore. Marty, I was, Anthony and I were
I had no idea. Well,
look at all that fake rage, and you guys still sold all those books. You got like 5 coming back, right? It's the same.
That's what I'm saying. Like it didn't even matter at the end of the day because the people that were, what is that song? If your 2 cents aren't going towards the bill, I don't want to hear it. And that's kind of what was happening. People were giving us their opinions, but they never supported us anyways. They never came. Bird City has brought in so many new artists. I can't even tell you. Over the past 10 years, we find people all the time that have never done a comic. We have 4 of them in the works right now. But it was so amazing to me to realize how quickly people can turn on you. And
absolutely. Hey, listen, Laura, in my personal life, guys, I'll be fully transparent. I've had more knives in my back than anybody could count. And I could tell you that's because, since that, I always keep my eyes completely peeled. I'm reading people like a fucking book. But besides that, when it comes to actual comics and the hobby and everything else, the situation that happened with you guys, I think you guys held more than true and as true as can be when it comes to doing your thing, and you guys said, you know what, screw it, we're gonna give these away as part of the bundle. Some people are even pissed at the fact that you guys are still selling the other two, but I think people forget that money is still put into this. You guys are DMing their kids and at the same time expecting them to pull food out of their mouth. That makes no fucking sense. Either you're completely cruel or you just have no soul. I don't know what it is, but
They just keyboard warriors. They can fuck off, whatever.
but yeah, but that's another thing, dude. Within the hobby, the amount of keyboard warriors and like fucking gatekeepers that I see, it's just mind blowing. Guys, I'm sorry if I sound a little pissed off, but to be honest with you, it is frustrating because
Bring it, dude. It's your show. Bring it.
yeah, no,
Bring
but I hate hopping online and seeing the amount of hate that comes across the entire hobby itself, because at the end of the day, guys, it's very niche, it's very scarce. There's not many people. I walk into my work, we're 100 fucking employees plus, man, in my office, which I manage a majority of them, and I'm the only goddamn comic collector, just to give you an idea. So this is what I'm getting at, is what we're saying and all this stuff about the con exclusives and everything. I agree with you guys, man. I look at both sides of the coin. You know, I know people who have their neck in the game, such as Laura and many other people, guys. I know local comic shop owners themselves, man, who are good friends of mine, and I know the work that goes into selling these comics, FOC, New Comic Book Day, all of this shit. I don't want to even imagine how much stress that is. I could see it from a distance, but being in that spot, dude, it's not easy. Now everybody comes out saying that comics are dying. You're not. It's complete nonsense. Again, comics are not dying, they're thriving, to be honest with you. Diamond going bankrupt has nothing to do with the hobby. What's happening in New Comic Book Day and everything else, it's doing just fine, guys. People coming out saying that they're here to save the hobby, you ain't saving shit, bro. Nobody gives a fuck about what the hell you have to say. That's the reality. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, Marvel is the one who's handling their shit. DC's handling their shit. Image is handling their shit. Everybody's just fine. Collect what you like. Leave it at that. Don't stress about the rest. You guys are stressing yourselves, man. I don't know what's happening online.
Yeah, that diamond thing is funny how people keep talking about it. Every comic book store I talk to, every comic book shop in the world that turned their back on Diamond during COVID because there was new distributors that already came out. And there are people worried about the new company that bought Diamond. They're not even going to be a comic book distributor. They're just buying Diamond for like their toys and stuff like that. And I said in our chat, wait, they're going to find a bunch of variants in some warehouse, and you're going to see like a flood of variants come back out. But yeah, hey, I think we've said what we've had to say about this. It was a good talk, Lando. Thanks for inviting us on, man. This is great.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
What else? Is that the only topic? Or are we going to talk about like how people at conventions after 50 years still don't know how to take a bath? Like what else we got?
Oh my god!
You'll turn that corner and you walk into an armpit stink.
Hey, dude, maybe they'll smell better with the Sydney Sweeney soap that's come out now. Apparently, yeah, her bath water is selling for a premium on the.
Wow.
I bet you someone like Chris was taking a bath in the water that they're selling.
Selling by the liter.
Yeah. But guys, I had a blast, man. I had a great discussion with you. I think this is the start to maybe something we could do more often in the future. As you guys saw, I'm counting down to episode 100, but I would love to do more hardcore talks about the hobby because I'm planning on growing this. I planned on growing this channel organically. I don't care for the sub count. Although when you guys do subscribe, I do appreciate it. It means that you want to talk comics. You want to be here to talk comics. And I love having the opportunity to have met Laura, Chris, Gabe, Marty, everybody who's here in the chat. Guys, I'm here for the comics. I really don't give a shit about the rest. If you want to bring the drama, feel free, do it yourself. You're really talking to a wall because I really think it doesn't really do much when it comes to the actual fact, when it comes to the hobby. That's my honest opinion. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but yeah.
Wait, that's a real thing that Sydney Sweeney's selling her bathwater?
Yeah, it's a real thing. That's actually happening.
A real thing.
Well, let me know when she's selling her underwear. Bathwater.
Lando's like, we're never having them back ever. Hey, Gabe, real quick before Lando lets us go.
Yeah.
I find you insanely refreshing. You're not angry. You're passionate. Like you have such an interesting approach to this. And you and I are very often on different ends of the spectrum, but like you're never disrespectful. you're just a good friend. So I appreciate
Well,
you.
my bathwater will be on sale shortly.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Yeah,
Gabe.
it's gonna be full of
Candles.
farts and shaving my hair clippings. So yeah,
Ooh,
Yeah.
talk dirty.
I'll get the first buy if you don't mind, man.
Pee, farts, and hair shavings.
Oh man, that'd be amazing. I'll put that on a mantle, dude.
I could say so many other things that might be included there, but I won't do that for the sake of everybody.
Yeah, my tissue, my used tissues are gonna be available soon. Too. They stick to the wall.
I just have that scene from Waterboy when he gets the special glacier water. Oh, that's some good H2O.
But thank you, Laura. I appreciate the love. That's you're too kind. You're too kind.
But guys, that's what I live for, man. It's comics, guys. In reality, man, like all of our lives, I think it's safe to say sucks, man. We wake up, we go do the grind, the daily 9 to 5. We've got the kids screaming in the background. You got to cook supper. You got to give them a bath. I don't want to hear this shit. I don't want to hear this shit. To be honest with you, this is my escape. And I love escaping with people like yourselves. So thank you, Laura. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Gabe. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, chat. Everybody who's here. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget, guys, you can catch all of these lovely people here on the panel every Tuesday, every Thursday over on Cover Price's YouTube channel. I know you're not used to hearing us go a little hardcore, and I apologize if it may rub some of you guys the wrong way, but at the end of the day, man, we just want to speak facts because I think some people need to hear it, whether they like it or not. So that being said, we're all here for the love of comics, and you can continue to share that love for comics every Tuesday, every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, top 10. You got the weekly shakers. You got people like Gabe. You got Chris. You got Marty. You got Laura. You got JB. You got many beautiful people to go and hang with. So make sure to subscribe. Subscribe tonight if you're new to the channel. Hit the comment section. Show some love. Don't forget to check out Nearing Nirvana too, because you can catch Laura there immediately after.
I'm everywhere, guys. I'm everywhere.
You are everywhere, Laura. You're everywhere but here. Bring your ass to Canada. We want to see you. You know what I mean?
Well, Laura also bringing the Avril Lavigne look today. I like it.
Right, it's the eyeliner. It's exactly that. I love it.
Amazing.
Yeah, she's reminiscing about that skater boy, man. That's what's going on. But all right, guys, have yourselves a good night. I'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit Cover Price's site as well, and don't forget to subscribe to Cover Price. Love you guys. Have a great week. See ya. Adios.